What's going on? It's your dog Artman Boxing, and we're back with another boxing conversation. Tonight we're talking about the brother, the number one pound for pound, Terrence Bud Crawford. And we're going to talk about a couple more things, but the highlight of the show is Terrence Crawford's statements. Man, this guy, I don't know, man. I love Terrence Crawford. I really do. But it's like him and the black community or just the American community, we're not really seeing eye to eye right now. The guy, he goes on to say that UK fans are the best. Oh Lord, he's talking about the British tea fans. The British tea fans that tell you, hey mate, hey mate, hey mate, Tank will lose to Tennyson. Those type of fans, the UK fans, the one that say, they like to eat their fucking fries with peas and gravy. Those type of fans, the fans that called Terrence Crawford an idiot for suing Bob Arum for racial bias. Those fans. But yeah, we're back. So let's keep it cooking, man. Um, Let me get to the chat. My dude said, Bomb Squad, payday. You want payday? I know that. Yes, I do. Artman definitely wants payday. So shop artmanapparel.com to get your Cheat King shirts. No matter of fact, I don't have the shirt on the website no more. Uh, this is exclusive. But you can go on artmanapparel.com to get some of the best merch. I am dropping that Valdez versus Shakur Stevenson this week. And I'm also dropping that Alicia Baumgartner design this week. So yeah, most definitely. And then tune to the website because we're going to be making Errol Spence versus Udonis Ugis hoodies and t-shirts this month or March, whatever. Anyways, let's keep it cooking. My dude said, Sweet Caroline. Yeah, like, what the? Man, we don't do that here, bud. But I don't like that type of talk. How the hell you going to say the British T fans better than us? Better than us. I ain't seen no British buy your fight. Did they buy the Bud Crawford versus Porter? I don't recall. I don't recall at all. But hold on, man. Where's my glasses? I can't see a motherfucker. Hold on, y'all. One sec. Let me get my glasses. I feel like Velma right now. I'm back. Man, I couldn't see shit for a second. I'm like, hold on. Who am I even talking to? Oh shit, Art man, it took his glasses off. No, I put those shits back on, man. I couldn't see shit without them. Uh, but I got Canelo number one pound for pound, nigga. That's you. I don't. I got Bud Crawford as my number one pound for pound. And I even get a lot of heat from that, from the UK. Make it make sense. I say Bud is number one. The UK fans are the one that's telling me, nah. But these are the guys that's the best. I don't think so, man. I feel like Bud, he went out to the UK, you know what I'm saying? He started eating some peas with the fries. And it got to his head, and he thought, man, these UK fans, they're the best. I don't know. Maybe they put something in his food that got him tripping. But we all know the best fans are here in the States. You know why? Because it's not just black fans here. We got Mexican American fans. We got Asian American fans here. Come on, man. So you say a bunch of British tea fans are better than us? Dude, nah, get the fuck out of here. When you went out there to fight Ricky Burns, what did they say? They were booing you, dude. They were booing you. So come on, man. Come on, man. But I got my brother D Hive in the building. What's going on, brother?
Yo, what up?
Shit, nothing much. I'm just laughing at these goddamn comments, man. This nigga Bud really said the British T fans is better than the United States.
If
Like, what's
Bud,
up with these fighters saying that shit, man?
if well, one or two things. If Bud wants to say that UK people treat their fighters better than the US treats their fighters, okay, that's a point you can make. But if he's trying to argue that UK fans treat him better than we treat him, I'm like, see, this is why niggas be praying for your downfall. Some shit like some shit like this. It be shit like this, bro. Because like you were saying, like, bro, if y'all take a Bud's side on this, go ahead. Go listen to DAZN's version, YouTube version of him versus Ricky Burns. Even the commentators were talking a gang of shit.
Dude, you heard
Horrible.
a
They were
new
like,
version? Because I heard the old commentary from
uh,
the Irish dude or the
yeah,
Ireland dude and UK
yeah,
dude, man.
They're just like, oh, well, it looks like he's not all he's cracked up to be,
Yeah,
and
he's
I was
not
like,
that
all that
special either.
shit.
Yeah, and they said, well, this isn't the Ricky Burns we know. You know.
And, and also, just a reminder because people got short memories. Every single second, Bud Crawford was ranked above Canelo Alvarez on ESPN's pound for pound listings. Everybody talks shit. Even the same people on Raza and MAGA Twitter that use Bud as their one black fighter to prove they're not racist, they fucking hated Bud until he was beneath Canelo on ESPN's pound for pound list. And then they started to give him some credit. And then they started to give him some respect. So let's not act like all of a sudden, oh, Bud is the best thing. Like, nah, bro. That's fucking corny.
Yeah, man. But Bud is, I like that guy. He's the best, man. The fuck I
Yeah,
and it's so crazy because Bud will say this, but I was just arguing with his fans about this whole racial bias lawsuit.
right. And yeah, and then the thing is though, is that this is not to disparage British boxing fans at all, but it's just like, Bud, if that were the case, you would have been some massive UK star, but Eddie Hearn turned you down off top. He said you ain't getting shit. He before you even approached Eddie Hearn, he said, "Hell no, we ain't getting ready to sign you." So I'm like, all this British love you're supposed to be getting. I'm like, where is that, bro? Where the fuck is that? Now, like I said on Twitter, if he is trying to sign a deal with Pro Bellum and he's gonna go to England and go on some tour, I don't want that for him. But if that's what he's trying to do, then I get it. He's trying to make sure his numbers stay high. But if he's not doing that, then I don't know what the fuck is up.
It may be what you said on Twitter, D Hive.
Because if he going to Pro Bellum and he gonna run through a stable of who, because the thing is, Bud is gonna lay waste to whoever y'all got over there until he turns like 40. So basically, you got to line up sacrifices to keep this nigga paid. Now I'll tell you this: if he was gonna try to make a deal with the Zone, I want to see him against Virgil Ortiz Jr., Conor Ben, and Florian Marku in that order. I need them three taken smooth out, and then I'll be okay. But if you're not doing that, because think about it, at 154 they don't have shit. So it's like, who the fuck you gonna be fighting? Fucking Hopi Price and shit? Like, nah, bro.
Beefy.
Yeah, like you gonna whoop Liam Smith ass for the 15th time? You know how many times he had his ass whooped? Like, bro, like, come on now. Yeah, that's true, Alex Alberto G. I like the way they break into song. That shit's cool. I like that. But I'm like, bud, see, this is why I'm telling you, this is why niggas in America be praying for your downfall, because you be saying shit like this.
Think about it. I'm over here fighting everybody over this Bud lawsuit. I'm doing my research, finding out receipts, Bud of Bob Arum being a racist, countering all that shit, helping the brother out. And then I get, well, the UK fans are the best. I'm like, ah, shit, nigga.
It's
All
so
right, man.
hard. It's
All
it's
right,
it's
man.
it's so hard. We try our best to be on code and supportive, and then they get in there and they spit in your face. They're like, well, we like the UK better. I'm like, okay, well then I hope the UK numbers are good, bro. And for everyone saying we just hating on Buzz specifically, we got on Jamel Charlo ass when he fucked up too. So let's not start that. People like, oh, you just hating on Bud. Like, no, when Jamel Charlo called us broke, motherfucker, we called his ass out too. We were like, well, we hope that your fucking next pay-per-view is profitable, motherfuckers. We can't afford it.
Exactly. Exactly. And so funny? The trolls from the UK will come and comment on my post about Charlo, and they'll say things like, well, didn't you guys hate Charlo? Didn't you guys hate on Charlo? You know what I told them? Nope. I love all my black American brothers and sisters because I'm staying on motherfucking code, bro. I'm not going to sit here and politic with you about, me not liking a certain body from my community because when it comes to Bud, you guys use him as that token Negro, and y'all try to do that shit with Charlo too.
Well, we don't hate on anybody, but we just recognize when someone is doing something that's not conducive to our group. When it's someone in our group, I'm like, y'all do the same thing. Fucking if what's his name? Like if like for example, look at Tyson Fury. Whenever Tyson Fury gave Deontay Wilder any type of credit, didn't people ride Tyson Fury's ass? They started calling him a cokehead, say he don't know what he's talking about. He's just kidding, blah blah blah. Anytime,
Mm-hmm.
anytime Tyson Fury said Deontay Wilder was easily the most dangerous fight for him in the heavyweight division, that the only person that could beat him was Deontay Wilder, motherfuckers say, Tyson Fury's crazy. He was on drugs. He don't know what he's talking about. Blah
Exactly.
blah blah. So y'all regulated Fury. So we trying to regulate Bud. Shit.
Said my dude says I give it to the credit to the British T fans. They're more creative when it comes to their songs and chants. Man, that Sweet Caroline shit is not creative, man.
I
That's
mean,
just
yeah,
not creative to me. I don't
I
even know
don't like
why.
that
Why
song
is
that
that their
much.
main song, anyways? Why? What? Why?
I don't know why they sing it so damn often. Like at every fight for every occasion. Like, all right, that's cool, but come on now.
I got a viral video on Twitter of me at the Wilder versus Fury fight, and they're singing the Sweet Caroline shit. Man, that's just so. It's just tacky to me. But one thing that I noticed, man, I made a post on Twitter, yo, and for some reason it was crickets. I don't know if you know what Twitter post I'm talking about, but I said the post where I said, let me read that shit word for word, bar for bar. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I brought it up today. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I said if Terrence Crawford really wanted a Spence mega fight, he wouldn't have signed with a drug lord who is banned from the United States. Why not sign the Harvard graduate Al Heyman and fight his prize fighter Spence without the involvement of a nefarious character?
Oh shit.
Man,
Oh
they couldn't
shit.
argue me down with that shit. Usually, people will have debate on top of debate, but when you break it down so simple like that, it's like how to refute it. People just started posting gifs and shit like that, but nobody could say anything. Nobody.
I
I
will
even
say
posted in
this.
a Facebook group. They just liked it and kept it pushing.
I will say this. I think I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna say if it's the best decision or not, but I believe that Bud was already signed to Kenahan's management before he made the decision to leave Top Rank. So that was a business decision he had already made before he had decided to part ways with Bob Arum. Now, like I said on Twitter, if you're trying to use Kenahan's money to be in a position to make big fights with other people and come to the negotiating table to maybe give you some extra ammunition, okay, I get it. But nigga, I swear to God, if you go ahead and sign with Probellum and start dusting their fucking crop of bums, I'm gonna write you off, bro. Like I'm gonna write you off.
Well,
I'm
I'm
good.
gonna have to write them off too. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
like
have to
I'm
write them too. But the whole point of me making that point is not to say that Bud can't go get management. It's the fact that you want to make this fight with the specific fighter. Why bring in a middleman when you can just go straight to the Al Heyman? You can literally go straight to Al Heyman and make that fight. You don't think Al Heyman will respect Bud enough to give him a fair deal, a fair
but
shot?
but you know what this Kenahan thing tells me? It tells me that even Bud thinks Bomac ain't shit.
Ooh,
Cause isn't that Bomac's job to be managing Terrence Crawford and his stable? And you go get yet another motherfucker who has this level of reputation? I'm not one of those people that think Bud is dumb, just some dumb dude from Nebraska. This tells me that even he thinks when it comes to getting major deals made, Bomac is a liability. Cause he don't know shit either. Because all Bomac knows how to get Bomac paid.
how the hell he gonna be reading a contract with Burger King burger stains dropping on the damn contract? Don't make no damn sense.
Like I'm not gonna say like
That's
I'm
talking shit. Shout out
yeah,
to Bomac and them, man. I'm just talking bullshit.
like I
But
don't mean I don't mean to denigrate Bomac because he did get Terrence Crawford paid through the pandemic, even though it was just one fight a year and against people that were basically being served up to Terrence Crawford. But the fact that Bud has retained alternative management in addition to Bomac tells me something. It really tells me something.
it does, man. And some people, I get it. My thing is, some people feel like if I had the right representation, basically the white representation, I
Right.
can get a better shot. I can get every business can be handled accordingly. Some folks think like that. You know that, right?
Yeah,
Instead
but
of But my thing is like, why not just like do like my brother Nipsey say, man, fuck the middleman, go straight to the motherfucking source, Al Heyman.
Yeah, my thing is with the white representation, you just tried that. You had the guy with the second most political power in all of boxing representing you and didn't shit get done. You're now suing that guy. So you gonna try this shit again? I'm like, bro,
Oh,
you
ain't no
just
suing this guy.
right, yeah, you sue him, your shit gonna blow up like the Godfather.
Exactly.
You'll
And
start
my
your
thing,
car in the morning and fucking
it's
boom.
like this. You hear Al Heyman offering niggas $50 million, $100 million, and you want to go and get this crook involved?
I think that the shit that Tim Smith said didn't help because Tim Smith, dumbass, he's the VP of communications. He's putting all that bad energy out there about how Bud might not be worth it. Now here's the thing: I don't agree with what Tim Smith said, but also let's be fair. Bob Arum said the same shit, and y'all kind of rode with that. So let's not make it seem like Tim Smith is repeating some shit that's never been said before. Fucking Bob Arum spent years saying the same shit, the same exact shit about Terrence Crawford, and y'all just wrote that out like, well, it is what it is. Tim Smith say the shit all of a sudden. Oh look, they're protecting Earl. Like, wait, hold. Like you can't just move to that. Like that doesn't make sense.
And I'm gonna keep it 100, man. I gotta draw the line and plant my flag. I'm rocking with Errol Spence in this whole situation, man. And I don't think Errol Spence is ducking or anything like that. I just feel like the man stuck with his plan. I don't know if you've seen a clip of Errol Spence at an event. And, he explained, he's like, dude, you know what I'm saying? Like I've been saying from the start, I clean up my side of the street and then I'm going to snatch that last belt.
Yeah, he has been consistent. I don't know, like people just say he said a lot of stuff. Like first people said, "Okay, go get a belt first, Terrence," and then he said, "Okay, I got the belt," and then he said, "Well, all right, I'm gonna go get the belts on my side and then come see you." Then he's currently in the process of doing that. So I'm trying to like Earl has only said two things. Terrence Crawford's been the one that's been all over the place, but saying that doesn't mean we don't like Terrence Crawford. We're just letting you know what it is. And then it's funny because every time I ask Bud fans, "Is Terrence Crawford a liar?" half of them say, yeah, he is. So I'm like, so what the fuck we listening to him for? I'm like, what the fuck we listening to him for? This nigga lies. So, I wish him well, but I'm telling you, if he signed a pro bellum and just start slaughtering whoever they got in their little weak stable, like if they want to bring
I
up
think
Josh
he signed
Taylor,
to that. I think he signed to the big man because big man can guarantee him that fight with Josh Taylor.
I think it's. I mean, I don't even think
I've
that's a
been hearing a lot of those talks lately.
I don't even think that's the massive fight that people think is gonna be. I don't give a fuck about that fight. I mean, I think Bud gonna beat
I
his
mean,
ass.
it'll be massive as fuck if if Taylor somehow win.
Right, exactly.
And then
And
you
they
sign
gonna
it to you think this guy got your best interests?
they
Shit.
definitely gonna have that fight in the UK. They definitely gonna do that.
What's going
You,
on, guys?
Hey, what's up, Julius?
yeah, when Josh Taylor come in there with an 8-pack you ain't never seen before, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be
Going
saying tell the world how much you love the UK then.
they gonna do the same thing they did with Regis. They're just gonna say just don't get knocked out. It'll be okay. Just don't get knocked out.
Make it a competitive fight. Don't get knocked out.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I gotta do. Just don't
Even
get
if your
slept.
eye look like a giant ass fucking uh, genetically modified plum,
Right.
it
Yeah,
don't mean shit.
yeah, that's all they're gonna say. Just use the ring, throw your jab, don't get slept. That's all you gotta do to win. Don't get slept.
Seriously.
Yeah, that's it.
And people talking about this fight, man. I honestly feel like Bud will wash him, but I feel like the circumstances that they'll put Bud in, you never know.
He gonna stop Taylor, but I want if he's not gonna fight Errol Spence, I want him to fight Boots. I want him to fight Virgil Ortiz Jr. Keith Thurman will be cool seeing him get his ass whooped. And yeah, like
What you got against Keith Thurman, D Hive?
man, Keith Thurman been bullshitting for the longest.
I
Not to
like.
mention,
I really like Keith Thurman. It's sometimes it's hard for me to openly show it because people be coming at my head. Why
Keith
you like
Thurman.
Keith Thurman? Man, I like Keith Thurman because I honestly feel like he's a good fighter, man. He's a good welterweight. He only has that one loss to Manny Pacquiao, but in reality, I feel like he even won that fight, to be honest.
Nah, he was a good welterweight. He talked too much shit.
He said he talked too much shit. But
Yeah.
what's going on, brother Julius?
Yeah, I think Bud's gonna fight Regis. because Regis number one can't make 140 like that anyway. You know what I'm saying? You see, he missed weight a couple times and trying to get fights at over the limit 142. And the other thing is Josh Taylor's situation can't happen right now because he associated with Top Rank. So Top Rank not gonna do a fight with Terrence Crawford with this big, you know what I'm saying, lawsuit looming. You know what I'm saying? So I think he hasn't signed with PBC yet. So I can see the Regis fight because that's the only fight that makes sense right now.
Yeah,
Think
because Regis just signed a deal with Pro Bellum.
exactly.
Yeah,
And you know, Pro Bellum is cool with you know what I'm saying, that killer out there in Ireland. So it shouldn't, you know what I'm saying? I'm just, you know, loosely saying killer, not calling him a killer. But I'm saying, so I can see that fight happening, man. You know what I'm saying?
it's gonna
If
be
he go
real
to
funny.
147 and try to fight Buds, that'll be his last fight.
Yeah, and you know, and they got a little bit of history, man. And you know, Regis was in the amateurs with all them guys. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I mean, this is one time that I'm gonna be rooting for Bud to really, you know what I'm saying, stretcher this guy, man. I'm not a Regis pro grade guy, man. He ain't my type of guy in nothing. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the way that he moved, you know what I'm saying, in life, and I'm not crazy about his fighting. You know what I'm saying? He, you know, in basketball they say guys got low IQ. You know what I'm saying? That's how Regis fights. Regis, you know what I'm saying? Like that, man. So I'm not a Regis guy.
Regis fight like he taught himself how to box.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all fucked up.
And I'm not saying like he's
Y'all
trash. I'm
fucked
not
up.
saying he's trash.
No,
I'm
no,
just
he's
saying
good.
it's
He's
just
good.
good,
He's
but it's
just a
like
dumb fighter.
when you put him in there with a guy who's been training in the boxing gym who has a real good IQ, you can pick this guy apart.
Yeah,
But,
pick him apart.
but bro, he whooped Taylor ass. So what y'all trying to say?
Listen,
Taylor ain't like come
no,
on.
this is what I'm gonna say. Regis is like a lot of fighters that we have seen before that are good, but if you put them in the ring with a technician, they get taken apart.
Take him
Hurt.
apart.
Seriously,
And
like
the reason why and the fight was
yeah,
competitive. The fight was competitive with Taylor, dude. But
mhm.
honestly, you put him in there with Bud, it's
It's
gonna
a
be easy.
knockout.
Put him in there with Keyshawn Davis. I even picked Keyshawn Davis to beat him at 140.
I
Oh,
watch it. Tank Davis could too, because he runs right in, man. And Josh Taylor is not the biggest puncher in the world, and you know he runs right in. But I would say this as far as Regis goes, you know, Regis built his reputation off of what people think that he is. You know what I'm saying? His biggest situation been a loss. Like, name me someone that Regis Prograde beat that you say, oh man, that was a great win, or even a good win.
I don't know anybody he really beat besides Red Cash and Taylor. But to
And
be
Red
honest,
Cash
I
is a
do look. Don't get me
130
wrong. Don't get me
pound
wrong.
fighter.
I still rate Regis as a good fighter, but
Right,
I'm not going to say that he is better than Javante Davis. I'm not
right,
going to say he's better than motherfucking Terrence Crawford.
yeah,
right.
he
I don't
smoked.
pick him. I don't pick him over Gary Russell Brothers. Gary Russell
Oh,
Jr.'s brother.
Antoine,
Oh hell no. No, well, come on. That's like talking about boots at 147. Ain't nobody
I
gonna work
agree.
Antoine ass. Like that's why I didn't even bring him up. It's pointless.
Hey, speaking of Antoine, I can't wait to see him fight Victor Pope.
This Saturday, huh?
Man, I'm ready for it.
Man.
I'm ready.
Hey, I'm about to name the fight party motherfucking Victor Postal's retirement party.
Why
Yeah,
not?
he gonna get beat up.
Why not?
He's
But
about to get
Prograde,
beat the fuck
And
up.
let me
but
say this.
Prograde fought some Bud leftovers. He smoked Ndongo and Joe Diaz both in the second round. So that
Yeah,
gotta count for
both
something.
both scrub fighters.
He said they
And
scrub.
think about it, man. In Dagu, I mean, I respect any fighter that get in the ring. Let me put that out there, all right? But Dagu, man, is a C, D level fighter that won a belt. That's why I be saying, man, that sometimes, And I guess I am taking a little bit away from Bud because I'm saying that Bud be the scrub, but Bud can fight. We all know Bud can fight, but he got a soft touch in that one. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody was like, man, you could be undisputed champ if you just beat Julius Ndagu. You know what I'm saying? You jump through hoops to do that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, I think Regis is a little better than y'all give him credit for. But yeah, I don't pick him. I'm definitely not picking him against Bud. I think Bud will lay waste to his ass.
Hey, D Hop, you said we calling Regis a straight scrub up here, huh?
I mean, that's what y'all say. Like
Regis gonna hear this shit and get pissed.
that's what
Nah,
y'all say. Y'all like
Hey,
he be
Regis
like,
look like
fuck
a
these
dude.
niggas.
Y'all say Regis
hey,
look like a nigga that trained himself.
hey, look, Regis had the nerve to say Regis
Because
was
he
talking one day,
unorthodox to me,
man.
bro. I'm gonna keep it 100.
That's what makes
Regis,
him good, and he got power.
yeah.
He
Hey,
got power, or them dudes just trash.
Nah, Regis got legitimate
a
power.
little bit of both. A little bit of both. Hey, man, I wanna shoot real fast on that
But
Lomachenko.
hold before you get into that, before you get to that.
Yeah,
But my thing is, I like when people prove me wrong. To be honest, that's what I love about the sport. If I think you're not, who the people say you are, and then you get that performance, and you show the world that hey, this is who I am, then I'm changed my mind. Of course,
right, right,
that's just how it is. Like
right.
Better Be, I thought Marcus Brown was gonna be Better Be that. I thought Better Be was old. You know what I'm saying? He can't box really. You know what I'm saying? You know, he ended up proving me hella wrong. So I'm looking at him, his future. I'm like, yo, him versus Joe Smith Jr. Shit, look like he's gonna slaughter that kid. I'm gonna keep it 100. My heart is saying USA, but my brain is saying Better Beaver's gonna take this motherfucker out.
Okay, well, the thing about that is you can't say Regis Prograde proved you right if he goes up to 147 and his first fight is fucking Bud. You got because he's gonna get slaughtered.
Yeah, of
You
course.
gotta give him somebody else.
Yeah, so give him Gary Russell Brothers Jr.
Oh my
Gary
fucking god!
Russell
Hey, let's
Jr.'s
do it.
brother. Give
Okay,
him
Let's
that.
all right.
do it. Hey,
These
and you know something, man?
these
Hey,
niggas
I'm gonna
putting him
tell
in
you,
losable ass fights.
Art man, Art man, you could be a matchmaker because it was a time where a guy like Regis Prograde with one loss, who guys would expose him, and I could come up with so many examples of a guy people thinking was something, and a guy just come in and just trash him. I give you an example. Terry Norris was gonna fight Donald Curry. Donald Curry from Dallas. You know what I'm saying? Dallas welterweight champion, was a good fighter. But, Bradman and some thought he was a great fighter. Well, Terry Norris used him and trashed him in a fight. But that's what happens sometimes. You got to show the veteran because Regis Prograde at this time is a veteran. You know what I'm saying? They moving him like he's 23 years old, but the dude in his 30s. Like it's time to go on and fight some of these young giants out here or fight some world champion. I don't want to see him fight Red Cash no more. I don't want to see him fight I don't know, man. He be fighting guys, all these obscure fighters, man. It's all these club fighters fight somebody.
Relic,
Yeah,
relic.
really, man.
Uh,
Come on, man. Like,
a more contemporary example of what you talking about is Breeders Prescott. Y'all remember when fucking everybody
I
thought
got
Breeders
Amir
Prescott
Khan.
was getting ready to be some monster, and then the motherfucker turned out to just be a punching bag that could hit.
Because, but the reason
Oh
people thought
shit!
he was that is because he knocked out Amir Khan in one round.
Yeah, he slept his ass.
But that was at 135, and Amir Khan saw at that point, man, I got to get out of here at 35. I'm weight drained.
Yeah, that shit was funny as hell. People thought Breeders Prescott was getting ready to be a fucking monster, and today he retired with like 18 losses.
There you go.
People thought he was really getting ready to do something. Oh man, Regis got a hell of an ego. Yeah, Regis kind of reminds me of like the Keith Thurman at 140. He talk a lot of shit for what he's accomplished, and at least Keith Thurman was a champion though. But
And
yeah,
Thurman got big wins though.
Yeah, exactly. But good thing is Regis is pulling a Jared Hurd. He buying all types of property and shit while he got this little money because he might actually have to start earning his paycheck like Gamboa. So he's like, let me go ahead and buy some houses and shit while I'm still conscious. Because you start fighting people like Bud and Gary Antoine, you gonna get the shit beat out of you. Those are some fights that start changing the way how you talk.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely.
Yeah. But I think maybe the reason why my perspective on Regis is skewed is because I don't pay attention to him when he's not talking about boxing. Like when he's just talking about like his life and losing weight, I pretty much turn him off. So like I don't really give a shit what he has to say if it's not about boxing. So I think maybe that's why my perspective on him is a little bit skewed.
Yeah, the
On
guy
who?
On
Eric
Regis, like
man.
yeah, like when Regis program not talking about boxing, I don't give a shit about what he's talking about. Like I don't care about him and his fucking family and shit.
Yeah, he's
I
an arrogant.
remember. I still can't forget that damn documentary he had, or that little whatever he was, that diary of my 140-pound life. And me watching that shit, it just kind of just threw me off on Regis. Like, dude, I think you should go up to 147 if you got to do all that.
Yeah, but we all know what's waiting up there. Especially him as a contender, he gonna fight but lose to him. And then what he gonna do? Fight Josecito Lopez, Abel Ramos, one of those motherfuckers, beat them, and then when you want to fight your way back to the title, you got to go through Ortiz Jr., Boots, or some other people. So it's tough. It's fucking tough, man. Regis is trying to get the Tio fight. They're not gonna serve Tiafimo up to fucking Regis, bro. Like, see, Tiafimo like that, that's somebody Regis would probably beat their ass. So y'all can say what you will about Regis, but Tiafimo coming there, especially because Regis is a southpaw and Tiafimo barely knows how to box orthodox fighters. Apparently, Regis will get on his ass.
I agree.
Yeah, you think that Tiafimo was on the oxygen tank after fucking
But
Cambozo?
but I'll say this though. If Regis continue to stick around at 140, it's gonna be one of them nights, man, where he gonna be Mungia going into that, you know what I'm saying, weight drain, and then he come to fight the next night. He might be 160 pounds and get knocked out in 2 or 3 rounds. That's the danger of staying at a weight class too long, man.
Yeah, I mean, I know why he's not moving up, but also like who at 140 who at 140 do they even have over at Probellum for him? He's fighting Tyrone McKenna next, which is absolutely nobody. I'm like, who at the stable? Like, are you just going to keep trying to cash these little random dudes to get your bank account up? I'm like, who you fighting over there?
Well, that's another thing, man. You know, Richard Schaefer still got a working relationship with Al Heyman. So if Regis really wanted to fight guys, he could fight anybody he wanted to at 40 or 47. And I believe that. Like if he wanted to fight Matisse, he could fight Matisse.
That should be his next fight because he's talking all that, doing all that Twitter banging, talking about, oh, I beat that dude ass easy. I'm like, okay, good,
Man,
good. I'm glad.
Matisse will first of all, Regis is a light-skinned guy. He gonna come out of that ring that night looking like a car accident. But I mean, it's a win.
Against who?
Huh?
Against who?
Matisse,
The Puerto Rican dude?
Yeah,
Nah, I think Regis can beat him.
I didn't say Regis can't win. I said he gonna come out looking like a car accident because my man. Hey, one thing about Matisse, right? In a fight like that, Regis is right in front of you. And his fighting style, man, and even he said it. He said that Bud Crawford came to him. This is, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a video out of Regis. And he talking about Bud came to him and said, man, you're going to end up getting hurt or knocked out here. He said, you too good of a boxer to be getting hit the way you do. And he was like, yeah, man. And I took that to heart because I do get hit too much and da 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 and all that kind of stuff. But where Bud was wrong is that that's what Regis been doing his whole career. It's like you going up to a girl and say, "Hey, you don't have to sleep with all these men. You seem like a whore." And she say, "Oh, well, I'm not one." Yeah, you are. You doing what you always done.
But did Matias take that to heart? Because this last fight, he was still getting touched.
Matias,
Yeah.
no, Regis
He
is the one that
Matias,
said
I
that.
seen it at
Oh,
first.
you
No,
said
I
Regis
seen
Regis
it
against
in the
said that.
Matias?
rematch. In the
No,
rematch, Matias was trying to like he
oh,
was just
no,
like
no, no, no.
boxing at first, and
No,
then
Art Man.
eventually.
I was talking about Regis said that.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Not
Regis.
Matisse. Regis said that.
Wait, Regis said that to who?
Uh, Bud said that to Regis that it hit
Oh,
too much. Yeah,
oh shit.
yeah. Hey, look,
Oh
if
damn.
Matisse said it, I wouldn't even know what he was saying because he speaks Spanish. But
Oh no,
no,
I thought Buzz said that to Matisse. That's what I
no,
thought you
he
were trying to
said
say.
that to Regis.
Oh shit, that means Bud been watching, dude. Oh
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. They like
Oh
I told you,
shit.
they came up through the amateurs together. Earl Spence stopped Regis in the amateurs. Not saying that means it's going to happen in the pros, but I'm just saying.
Oh shit. Regis, don't take the Bud fight. He been observing you. You're gonna be some food.
I mean, hey, Earl Spence talked about fighting him. I mean, these guys see that Regis is not a 140 pounder. He really a 47 pounder.
Yeah, he's scared. He don't want to go from weight. I was actually rewatching Charlo versus Harrison 1. And one thing
Uh-huh.
I heard that was interesting from Derek James in the corner when
What he
he was
say?
when he was asking Charlo to put some pressure on Tony Harrison, he just kept saying put some more pressure on him. He said one thing that stuck out to me. He said, "Do the EJ on his ass." I was like, "Oh, I know what that means."
Walk him down.
Yeah, he said do the EJ on his ass. I was like, "Oh shit." I was like, damn. So he fucked because people talk about EJ, how EJ might not be able to compete at 154, and I was like, I don't think y'all really know what y'all talking about. So but he said do the EJ on his ass. I was like, oh shit. He said hit him with that EJ.
Hmm.
But yeah, people seem to be worried about Errol Spence like safety at 154, and I'm like, I don't know where he struggles at. 154 division not that deep. The biggest threats are what Charlo, Fundora, and fucking Lubin, and maybe Joey Spencer, and what Jesus Ramos. Like those are pretty much all the threats. Everybody else is kind of like womp womp.
Hmm.
Shit, where I man go?
Hughes versus Spence. What y'all think about that one, y'all?
It's gonna be good. I think Spence gonna wash him, but it's gonna be good. I hope he gets his ass whooped horribly for all that shit he been talking. Always talking about fucking Gary Russell and talking about who Boots fighting, and then I hope he fight Boots next since you want to talk shit. Because everybody got something to say about what Boots doing, Boots competition, blah 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 blah. But then Boots is struggling to get fights. Weird. It's kind of like everybody says Devin Haney can't really fight. He doesn't really have that much power. He's got no chin, and yet he can't seem to get fights. Weird. Oh
Man, I feel like Hughes versus Spence is going to be a very good fight. I honestly feel like Spence is going to wash this guy, and I know Hughes is a good fighter, but I just feel like for some reason I feel it in my bones. I feel like Errol Spence is going to knock him out.
yeah, it's
And
gonna be
then
very
and then that
difficult.
whole Bud versus Errol talk will be woo. They gonna be like, man,
And
that's
the
what give Errol Spence ammo, Team Spence ammunition.
And the thing is, all the pressure is on Bud simply to take the fight. To be honest, all the people that are worried about what the deal contains for Bud are not really concerned about the fight. You're concerned about Bud as a person. If Bud is offered a contract and he doesn't sign for any reason, that is on Bud. That is all on Bud because whatever he's making, whatever percentage, whatever the deal is, that's not a fan concern. I like unless like if Errol Spence was Mexican or something and the fight was in Mexico, yeah, sure, I can see why the fans would be concerned. But these are two African Americans that will be fighting in the United States. Nothing is the matter.
Right.
So
Hey
stop.
man, it's just a bunch of guys, man, that really want to be more important than what they are, man. You know what I'm saying? Try to act like they got some insight into something, and just a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They don't
And
want to fight the Omaha killer, the killer from
yeah,
Omaha.
Hey, somebody
one eye
said, yeah,
pirate.
Somebody said, yeah, Errol's ducking Bud because Bud wrestled in high school.
What the fuck do that mean?
Man,
This ain't MMA. I remember someone was like, "Oh, because Bud wrestled in high school, he could probably do MMA." I'm like, bro, take your ass over to the 155 division of MMA and watch Bud get folded the fuck up. Talking
Bud,
that's
I would like, man, I don't know. I just feel like boxers can beat UFC dudes until they get to the ground. Then it's something else.
yeah, of course. And that's the thing. It's gonna get to the ground because them guys gonna run in and jump right on their legs.
Well,
You know,
anybody who throws like decent leg kicks or head kicks is gonna probably take a boxer out because that's enough to injure your legs and get you on the ground and stun your foot movement. But yeah, man, anybody concerned about like I always say, if you're truly concerned about Bud's percentage, here's what you need to do if you're a Bud fan. What you need to do is you need to get a hold of his Cash App, talk to Bernie, talk to Bo Mac, get his Cash App, and Cash App him the difference. Whatever amount you think he should have, go ahead and Cash App him that shit so we can get the fight. That's all I'm saying.
that's true.
Because I already hear motherfuckers talking about that 50-50, 60-40 shit. And I'm like, what you worried about it for? You're not getting shit. Don't worry about it.
Get anything. Hey, but you
Right.
know what? Art and D Hive, Earl Spence is a bad matchup for Ugas, man. It's a bad matchup because the things that Ugas do well is Ugas is a good body puncher and he's a decent he can also hot shot a little bit and you know, but the thing is he don't move his feet well. And so Earl is somebody that is versatile. So Earl can sit there and beat his arms and beat his body, or he can jab him and step around him. You know what I'm saying? And Ugas want to try to counter, but he also want to beat your body too. Man, Earl can step aside and step around him all night. He can really make it a 12-0. He can make it the same type of fight as a Mikey Garcia fight. He could just beat him from the outside.
Well, the biggest tool that Ugas has against any southpaw, which is why somehow people think he's like the ultimate southpaw slayer now, is the standard Cuban double jab right hand. If for any reason Earl can't get away from that combo, it's going to be a long night. But once he's able to slip that and get inside, then we should be straight. He who greets with fire. I don't think that Ugas is any version of Errol Spence because Ugas is his own fighter. I don't think that he does. I think he's just an inferior product with all due respect. He doesn't punch hard enough. He doesn't move his feet well enough. His hands aren't fast enough, and he's not really a slick fighter at all. He's there to be hit.
He just consistent. And
yeah, he does his thing.
Consistent fighter without any type of extra or pizzazz. And that's another thing, man. Boxing, you gotta use your imagination because we know it's only really 4 or so punches: a jab, a right hand, overhand right, overhand left, a check hook. You get what I'm saying? It's not that many variation of punches, but you got to pizzazz it. You got to do more than be basic. And Ugas is basic. You know what I'm saying? He's basic. And Spence is, you know what I'm saying? He got more of everything than Ugas. Now I better stop saying that because next, you know what I'm saying, somebody a runner in one of these, these lines, you know what I'm saying, and start using what I said. Get what I'm saying?
Oh well, they're gonna do that anyway, Julius. I see fucking quotes from me all the goddamn time from people I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I wonder who told you that shit, you dumbass.
But they try to act so insightful, and
Yeah.
Anyway, I get in that, man. I'm gonna be good today. But,
extreme willpower. Ugas is physically strong, but I tell you this, his punching power, and I won't even say it's his power because I don't really think that when people can't knock people out, I don't think it's a power issue. I think it's more of a punch selection and placement issue. Because Ugas, he smothers a lot of his work, and a lot of shots that are supposed to go to the body, he'll shoot low because his arms are so fucking long, and he's uncoordinated when people get inside. And the worst thing about Errol Spence is that Errol Spence gets on the inside, and that's when you're done. So that's why I think Ugas gonna get the shit whooped out of him because once arrow spins get past the double jab and the right hand, he's gonna start getting on the inside. And what Ugas gonna do besides throw low blows? He gonna sit there and
And
get beat. He gonna get beat
that's
up.
why I said, you got to be able to have some pizzazz and mix it up. And you said it perfectly, man. You know, punch placement. You know, and like I said, I'm not taking nothing. If you are another average guy, or if you a guy that don't train well, Uga's gonna beat you because Uga's gonna train well. He gonna come prepared for 12 rounds. He gonna try and win. But I think that Earl can discourage Ugas enough early in that fight where Ugas a fight to survive. Now that's one thing, and I won't. And if people think that they know Ugas, I want them to tell me a situation where Ugas went for a guy, where Ugas was behind in a fight and Ugas went and stopped the guy, or Ugas was in a tough fight and Ugas went and took a guy out.
Nah, he doesn't. He normally doesn't turn it up at any point. He kind of gets to his peak and then he maintains. Even with Sean Porter, people were like
Yep.
that was his most winnable fight. He didn't really do shit different.
Dude, I'm gonna keep it 100. If he go in there fighting Errol Spence the way he fought Sean Porter, he gonna get slept.
Oh
Because
shit!
look, he
Sean can't box
couldn't
like
keep
that.
Porter off of him all night.
I'm gonna say this. Do y'all remember when Errol Spence was fighting Danny Garcia and Errol Spence threw the jab and then he threw the looping left hook off the jab that hit Garcia in the underarm and made him stumble across the ring?
Yeah, I remember that.
If he put one of those on Ugas' chin, it's over with. It's like the fight will stop right there.
But yeah, man, it's gonna be an interesting night, man.
It's funny as hell how the same people that swear up and down fucking Ugas beat Sean Porter, those are the same people that are saying Ugas is washed now. But however, those same people claim that Sean Porter was some kind of like super awesome stoppage for Bud. The level of inconsistency is just so weird. It's just like it's all over the place, bro. Like first Ugas is washed, then fucking Porter's quality, but Porter lost to Ugas, and I'm like, well, if you're out here losing to washed Ugas, then like how? I mean, come on now.
Right. And I mean, I done seen Ugas dominated in a fight. You know what I'm saying? I've seen Ugas just lose a fight close. So it's a couple blueprints out there on what to do with Ugas. But he's a solid guy, man, and he's gonna be trying to win.
Yeah, I liked Ugas all up until this month.
Yeah.
Like, he was cool until he started bullshitting.
Well, I mean, hey, man, those, them Cuban guys. But I would say this, and that can leeway me into what I wanted to talk about too. One thing about them guys from Cuba, I mean, they talk the good talk too, but they're not gonna go back to Cuba.
No, not at all.
If something went down like going down into Ukraine, they ain't going back home.
No.
But none of them.
Yeah. And he who agrees with fire, I'm one of the people think that Sean Porter won that fight. I don't.
Sean eating out too. I thought it was a close fight, but I think Sean won. Look, Ugas took a lot of breaks in that fight, man. He allowed Sean to out hustle him down.
He tried to showboat with Sean Porter and shit. I'm like, dude, you supposed to be capitalizing off of moments like this.
Exactly. He ain't got nobody to blame but himself.
Yeah, but
wait, look at this dude. He says these fools are gonna be crying for Spence the same way they did for Wilder. Why? Bud isn't a fucking steroid cheat. If Bud get the W, he won honestly.
I think he's talking about Ugas. He talking about Ugas.
Let me ask you a question.
Oh shit, man, fuck you guys.
Who was crying? I mean, who was the Puerto Rican guy that was on
Vargas?
Right? Okay. His brother and them and family was crying. Now look, if you talking about Wilder's wife, okay, a lot of people, wives and children cry. Ortiz, they be crying when he wins. So what are you talking about? Who was crying? Name those people that were
You
crying.
blacks.
Yeah, he don't know.
Come on.
He don't know. I'm like,
That's
you know,
what it is. It's you blacks, nigga.
yeah, you
You
know how
black
much.
Americans, because it's okay. Because we getting into. I'm telling y'all, dog. Yukas versus Spence. They might start calling that fight a Latino versus Black American fight.
They already trying to claim Shakur as Puerto Rican now.
I see, bro. And people really trying to argue me down. Dude's like, oh no, he's Puerto Rican, bro. His dad is Puerto Rican, bro. All that shit, man. I said, where's the Puerto Ricans when this nigga was getting locked up?
Right. When it's funny because he was all the way black when that video came out. Oh my God, look at him. Look at him. He's assaulting women. Look at the blacks. Look at the blacks. Now that he's about to whoop the shit out of Valdez. Oh, Rivera. Oh.
This is one of the greatest Puerto Rican Mexican matchups. I'm like,
yeah,
well, y'all shut the fuck
out of here.
And look, one thing I will give Nike credit for, she been
Lord.
No, I got you. She's been very consistent that guy's not a Puerto Rican. But hey, you know how that go, man. People are still anybody if they had the opportunity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, motherfuckers talking about Colbert, and it's funny because they have no actual evidence. They just say Shakur or Colbert said some shit one day, and that's what they're going by.
Hey, it's like Peter Quillen, claiming Cuba, Santo Domingo, and all that, and he was born in Chicago and
nigga born on the south side of shit,
Michigan, and his mother from Chicago,
right?
South side of Chicago,
right?
His mom was fucking GD and his dad from Cuba.
Right.
I swear, bro. And Tyree Bird is correct. As soon as all these people take a fucking L, they stop. They become black instantly. Like I guarantee. Like just like look at fucking Lara. For the longest time, Lara was Cuban. Even after his first L to Terrell Williams, this nigga loses to Canelo. He's black.
Right?
Ain't that some shit?
No, Canelo beat him.
That was
black.
Paul Williams. My bad. Yeah. Paul Williams. Yeah, he loses to Paul Williams, and he stays Cuban because like whatever. Because Paul Williams is a black dude, but he loses to fucking Canelo. All of a sudden, he's black again.
Yeah.
Ain't that some shit?
It's true though.
Yep. And they try to say we crazy. We race baiters. Baited. Yeah, I called dude so stupid. He said, yeah, he's a race baiter. I said, if I'm a race baiter and you bite the bait, what does that make you?
That's what I always say. How can I bait you if you're not racist? If you're not a racist, how am I able to bait you?
Right.
Okay, well, you can say what you want, Camo, but the record states that he took L. So I'm just going by what the record states. I mean, I haven't seen that fight in a long time, but it is what it is. Should be happening.
I can't even see the chat. What did Cam say?
Camo said he didn't lose to Paul Williams. It was a draw, even though he really won that.
Okay, it wasn't a draw. Laura beat the crap out of Paul Williams. It was a bad decision. I agree with you 100%. Matter of fact, it was so bad of a decision that, oh man, it was a bigger robbery than some of these so-called robberies that people been going crazy about lately.
Yeah, no, and also he must be talking about because right before the Paul Williams fight, he got a draw with Carlos Molina, so he might be talking about that one too.
Now, hold on. Now that was a draw. Because that was when Carlos Molina could fight a little bit. Carlos Molina ended up getting deported.
Oh, shit.
He had won the 154-pound title, but he had got caught up. I think Molina was staying in Chicago, and he got caught up into some, guns or something, and he got deported, and he fought a couple fights in Mexico. As a matter of fact, he won a title eliminator, and I think he ended up getting a title shot over in Mexico. You know what I'm saying? Deported from the United States. But the crazy part is, and I know you know more about this than me, D-Hive, is that even though you've been deported from the United States, you can still come to the United States and work and fight. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah. You can get a work visa with special conditions. One of those conditions being you're like some kind of professional celebrity athlete.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So But he never came back to the States to do nothing.
Yeah, but yes, and that happened. And also, Erislandy Lara got a fucking draw with Vanis Monterosian. So, there's that as
Bad
well.
decision again.
Yeah.
That was another bad decision. But
Yeah, they be
but
doing Lara dirty.
yeah, they did Law dirty twice. You know what I'm saying? Well, three times because I thought that he won the Canelo fight. So,
Yeah, I thought he won that one too.
but there you go, man. Was he Cuban or was he black?
Well, he was Cuban all the way up until he lost to Canelo.
Right.
Then he
That's what
magically
I was
became
saying.
black.
When he got them bad decisions. Yeah.
Yeah, he magically became black.
Yeah.
But yeah, but go ahead and get into the Lomachenko and Usyk situation in Ukraine.
This is what I have to say about this. When you're a gold medalist, and I saw people saying something about Ali and in regards to Lomachenko, but here's the difference. Uh, Lomachenko hasn't taken any stand on the Ukraine or Russia. As a matter of fact, D Hive, you more smarter on this than I am. But the Ukraine gained its independence from Russia, right?
Yeah, well, formally, yeah, they had a one of the presidents. There was a democratic election recently in Ukraine, and I believe that happened after the shit. I believe that happened after the little crisis at the airport.
Right. So I just wanted to point that out. So the Ukraine has broken away from Russia, and they was a part of Russia. And these guys are gold medalists, from the Ukraine. I've heard them in interviews, say in Ukrainian how they love their country. Well, their country is about to be invaded with their families still living there. And these guys are all comfortable in California and Usyk all over the place. But none of them made a statement. And I'm calling out Egasis, Kilmus, the manager, Top Rank, all these guys, all this stuff is going on, and they radio silent, and all they're talking about is a Cambosis fight, and all Usyk is talking about is an Anthony Joshua rematch or trying to fight Tyson Fury. Like, come on, man.
Right.
Y'all,
Yeah. After. Oh, go ahead.
no, I'm just saying, y'all, they can't even speak out.
Yeah, like after the dissolution of the Soviet Union, they had gained their independence, and then in 2013, the president at the time, which was Viktor Yanukovych, he decided to suspend Ukraine's European relationship with the EU, and then they overthrew him, and there was a new democratic government elected. But because of that, that's when Ukraine decided to annex Crimea. There was a little war from 2014 to 2016. Well, I don't know if I don't know if it's still ongoing. I think that the war, that little war in Donbass, is still, yeah, it's still part of the USO Ukraine war. It's still ongoing. That's happening, which is one of the things that's escalating now. So they've been at war with the Ukraine officially since their advocacy for a democratic government back in 2014. And the president of Russia is tired of it pretty much.
And the thing is, man, and the reason that I'm on these guys is because you got the Klitschko brothers, and people can say what they want to, you know what I'm saying, about the Klitschkos, but those guys are literally ready to lay it on the line and die for their country. And you can't even say 2 words about it.
2 words about it. They're not even look. I post. You've seen it, right? I
Yeah.
posted. I know I got all the Lomachenko stands following me. All of them. They all follow me. I'm like, pray for the Ukraine.
Right.
They ain't saying nothing.
And all these people that
I hope the
represent
fight.
y'all.
Nothing hinders the fight. Nobody's saying anything.
Right.
It's because it's all bullshit, bro. It's all bullshit. These dudes are just happy that they have a white representative that's popular in the United States, and that's why I got so irked whenever people said that Usyk and Lomachenko, the reason why they get hated on is because of their race. And I'm like, bro, if they weren't white, they wouldn't be selling anything. Do you think that Lomachenko would be some kind of fucking superstar if he was from Africa with the same skill set? No, he'd be put to the back of
Same
every
record.
line. Yeah, no, he'd be called a bum. He'd be called a one hit wonder or a 2 hit wonder. He'd be insulted. He wouldn't have gotten repeated title shots after L's.
First of all, you're right. He wouldn't have fought Salido in the second fight.
Yeah,
and he would have been an obscure fighter that would have had just a folk, you know what I'm saying? This folk following because he wouldn't get no fights. If
yeah,
Devin Haney can't get no fights, a black Lomachenko wouldn't get no fights either.
he would have just been
I
ducked.
mean, he really wouldn't get any fights case southpaw. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? In black.
Exactly, he would have just been ducked like all these other Cubans get ducked. Like I feel bad for the Cuban stock that Al Heyman just signed because they're gonna be avoided too. Because I personally think that dude Leonard Pirro, I think he can run roughshod through most of the heavyweight division right now.
He a good fighter. He
Yeah,
a
I
good
think
fighter. He a good puncher. But
I
that's
think
the only thing though, D Hive. That's the only division where now Ortiz was ducked except with Wilder. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only division where, hey man, that boxing thing is good, but it's better to have punching power at that weight class than be a boxer. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But yeah,
But
I just think I hope
yeah,
I personally I hope those motherfuckers get drafted. I hope they get called home. So when they openly refuse and have to beg the State Department for citizenship, we can call them cowards. We can. Oh, you're absolutely right. He who greets they would be like, oh yeah, he's boring. He don't deserve shit like they do right now. Yeah, no,
yeah,
we can call them cowards because they're openly refusing to
right.
answer their nation's call.
Exactly.
And and,
Exactly.
and like you said, they're not even speaking on it. They're not even being vocal, talking about, oh, Russia shouldn't be doing this or free the people of Ukraine. They're just like, well, I'm getting bread, so do.
And again, I have to call out the people that are so-called boxing heads and the people over here in this country that say that they represent the Ukraine. Ain't none of them speaking out on it either, man. They just like I say, they just go with status quo, and that's just it. But their country gonna get invaded, man. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna get
Right.
invaded. Some of them got family there, they got wives there, and it's nothing, man.
And then even if they, okay, I'm not saying that these niggas gotta strap up and go to war over there, but I'm saying like, man, y'all ain't saying nothing. Y'all still
Nothing.
trying to pursue these fights? How the hell you gonna fight with your country being invaded and people that you knew and grew up with, you know what I'm saying, going through that type of stuff?
Hey, bro, that's just
Well,
like
he might have to drop out of
Canada.
that George Kambosos fight.
Right. Hey, look, Andre Berto had a title fight with Shane Mosley.
Yep, and he had to go to Haiti.
Mhm. But now, yeah, the same onus of responsibility. And you know what's weird? I see a bunch of people. I see a bunch of people fucking protesting in LA of all places in front of the city council, talking about how the U.S. needs to take action. I'm like, for what? The hell we gotta do? If you want something to happen, what you need to do is get your ass on a plane, grab a rifle, and prepare to kick in.
Man, can you imagine Klitschko's fought in the war right now? What?
I mean, they'd be some easy ass targets. And niggas like 6'7".
I know, right?
I mean, shit. Not to make fun,
You
but
think they really bout it?
we'll have to see. If we see one of them, get hit with a mortar, then it turns out they were about it. They might be in the back doing logistics. I don't know.
What shit? Imagine fucking Klitschko on the front line.
But based on what I saw, it said they signed up for some sort of like reservist home
Reserve,
brigade.
yeah, but nigga,
Yeah.
what's reserve if the whole country going to war, nigga? You
Well,
always got to join too.
Well, I'm saying that I'm assuming that they only get deployed if the Russians pass a certain line. Like if they get past a certain borderline, and then they'll activate the reserve home army and shit.
Nigga, they will get
Right.
reserved. That's the thing.
But hey man, them guys ain't coming back. They'll have to you know what I'm saying? They'll go back only kicking and screaming, man.
Well, they just
No
went to the
way.
beach this morning. Fuck you talking about Ukraine? What?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Usyk like 6'2", 200. He can put in some actual work. He can hold the machine gun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hey, look, man. That's why when I sit here and I talk about different things. Now, not that I'm some, blue-blooded American or anything, but listen, bro, I done gave time to this country. You know,
Oh shit, Julius and disappeared.
Oh, they got him, dude.
Yeah.
Usyk and Lomachenko listening. They're like, motherfucker.
Right.
How dare you talking that shit? But yeah, no, yeah, Julius and Midwest are service members, so they know what that's about.
They know what's about.
Yeah.
And shit. And we know what it's about too. If we ever have another draft.
Yeah, I mean, plenty of our uncles and cousins have been drafted and stuff. I mean, of course, if the U.S. were invaded, I would take up arms because this is where I was born. I ain't going out like a sucker.
Hey, but shout out to the brother Jalik. What's going on, brother?
What's Art Man, the legend, man? What's popping, man? Congratulations on your future either twins, either a son or daughter, man.
Oh
Yeah,
shit!
thanks, man.
Yeah, shout out to Art Man. Art Man they can't keep Art Man down, bro. They trying, they can't keep Art Man down, bro. On these Twitter streets.
You see them trying though.
What's up, D-Hop?
What's up, man?
And what's up, Mama?
what's good?
Y'all talking about the Klitschko?
Yeah,
we were talking about how
that.
Usyk and Lomachenko ain't on hush mode when it comes to the Ukraine.
So let me ask you this: so if Klitschko went to war and other ones didn't, what's your perception of the ones that didn't go?
If the Klitschko brothers versus all the other Ukrainian boxers,
I say if the Klitschko signed up for the war,
right?
Well, they already have.
Usyk and Lomachenko decided not to. What you think of them?
They look like some suckers. Now I'll say this: I understand that they'd have to give up millions of dollars worth of bread to go home and fight the war. I understand, but the fact that they're not even discussing it, they're not even voicing their objection to Russia's actions. That's not good. It's not a good look.
And this is not like a Muhammad Ali Vietnam War situation.
Right.
This is a potential real war that affects their country, not just, you know what I'm saying? It affects everyone.
Uh-huh.
And also, Ali came from a time where his people, our people, was disenfranchised and were, you know what I'm saying? And they were at war in their country.
Exactly.
I've never heard that talk from Lomachenko. I never heard that talk from Usyk, and I never heard that talk from Klitschko that they were discriminated against in their homeland and that they were, made to feel less than, and that's why they got out of there. Because one thing I can say about Vladimir is Vladimir has lived in California. You get what I'm saying? He was married to a movie star. You know what I'm saying? Like he lived a lot.
You're right. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they were oppressed and told they weren't shit by the people getting ready to invade right now.
Right.
If they had a draft over here and you didn't go, would you consider yourself a fool for not fighting in the war?
If the United States is being invaded, if the United States is actively being invaded, then the entire country in the United States is automatically deputized. Now, it's different when the United States is having a war against a country that's actively done nothing to the United States. But if the United States itself is being invaded, yeah, I'd feel some type of way. That's a whole different situation.
Yeah, and like I was saying before you came on, brother, I gave my time, what I'm saying, to the States military services. You know what I'm saying? I put years in already. So yeah, if they were being invaded, I'm gonna pick up a gun because you're talking about an invasion. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about
let me ask
Red Dawn shit. They start flying.
Let me ask you this:
some parachutes down this
do you think making people get vaccines and wear masks is a form of slavery and psychological warfare?
Hey,
well, here's the thing.
Hold on. You guys got to censor the talk when it comes to that.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
okay.
it might get flagged for
Yeah.
misinformation.
I,
Yeah, that's
I
Yeah.
another.
ain't
Next
giving out.
subject.
I got you, bro.
Yeah, I'm not giving
Yeah,
up
because
no
they're
information.
gonna. Anytime black people try to talk about anything that they think is only for white people, they flag the video for misinformation.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
just
right.
next question.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got you. They want us to
right.
only talk about sports and music. They like, oh,
yeah,
too much
Entertainment and
sports.
Of
what's
course.
We
happening.
yeah.
worried about other
You
stuff
know,
now. We can't have that.
Like, what you niggas know
like,
about that science?
yeah,
The hell
yeah.
you talking about?
Yeah.
but but nah, man. I just feel that if someone's coming into your land, and like I say, Russia is not only that, Russia's a very racist country too. I mean, these are you know some of these people, their government's bad people, and you got mothers, sisters, brothers over there, and wives. I think that you should at least make a statement, make a comment. You know what I'm saying? Say, listen, I stand with the people of the Ukraine as they go through this hard time. And I'm over here living on a beach in sunny California. You know what I'm saying? At least say it.
Yeah,
You
sometimes.
know, say
Yeah,
something.
that's a touchy situation because I think what's the guy that fought Aaron Pryor from Nicaragua?
Arguello?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
had some situation where people was there and he made a statement. It's a lot of situation, even with soccer with Colombia. So you got to be if you're gonna be that life, you really gotta really. That's it's
But
serious. It ain't no game.
but
You know
but
what I'm
hey,
saying?
bro, let
Game.
me tell you this, man. I have seen people not say nothing, and they get the same results as everybody else.
Yeah.
That's
You
just
know what
like
I'm
when I
saying?
see.
I
That's
mean,
just like when I see David
and it's
Morrell
hard.
over here.
I mean, I've
Oh,
heard people say something like, look, I know Puerto Rico some years ago. I mean, I was in doing training over there in Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Military man was shooting out over in practicing, what I'm saying, and they were doing damage to that country, man. I mean, they were you know they were and we were doing exercises, what I'm saying, where we shooting live rounds, and it might hit their local Walmart or something, and they got tired of it, man. You know what I'm saying? They was like, yo, it can't keep going. And Felix Trinidad spoke out about that during
Oh wow,
his
I never
career.
heard that. Okay,
You
I
know,
never.
so yeah, yeah. So you got to understand, man. And they had another incident that went on. Al Sharpton, as a matter of fact, went over there to Puerto Rico and got arrested and did a hunger strike. Lost 25, 30 pounds over
That
there.
agent.
You know
Oh
what I'm
wow,
saying? With
interesting.
because of the
I ain't
treatment
heard
of the
that.
Puerto Rican people. Now, look, and so I'm saying that to say this, man. You know, just because you are an athlete, don't mean you can't speak out. You don't have to shut up and dribble or shut up and jab. Make a statement, make a
I agree.
comment, man.
I agree. I definitely agree. Yeah.
that's
And
just
at
like
the
when I
same time,
see.
a
Oh
lot
my
of
god,
people is just about peace though. So they not trying to play the political game because we know it's a game. We know we know that I don't never mind.
My thing is,
It's kind of like
what
this.
is
People
America's
you think that
involvement
run the
again?
country don't really run, and it's not a conspiracy. I mean, just look at the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab. He put the people. It's not what it appears to be. You know what I'm saying? So when you're dealing with war, you gotta really. It's sad too. It's just and they keep us beefing with each other. You ever notice that? They keep us
Yeah,
beefing with each other while they manipulating all the pieces in the game. So
Yeah, exactly. We was just watching The Dark Knight the other day. I was watching that with my old lady. Um, and there was a line that the Joker said on there. He was basically explaining, like, man, if a gangbanger was to get shot, or somebody was, a truck full of soldiers was to die, nobody would really panic because that's part of the program.
mhm.
or you shoot one tiny mayor
Yeah,
and everyone loses their minds.
yeah, that.
Yeah, and also Jalik Art
Yeah,
man, to answer your question, the United States economic interest is not really in the Ukraine itself. Number one, it's mostly about the precedent that it sets that Russia can go and repatriate its old Soviet satellites and try to recreate the Soviet Union. Number two, most people don't realize that when Russia annexed Crimea, is a controls the country is a critical control port to the Black Sea. That means they have access to a lot of trading routes and a lot of the ability to import certain raw materials. One of which is oil, because what most people don't know is that most of the Russian economy is based on their ability to manufacture and trade energy. And as we've all known, energy has grown exorbitantly in price, which means that Russia's economy has suffered and it's been in shambles. So they need the ability to find cheaper and better methods to trade energy. And the port of the Black Sea allows that. So it's a critical trade route. It's exactly why Panama fought to get control of the Panama Canal after the United States intervention with Noriega.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So as you know, so that's why that's the U.S. interest. They want to make sure that Russia's not going to either interrupt foreign trade or even worse, give them more bargaining chips when it comes to the international table.
Man, I don't want to dive too deep, but isn't Lomachenko? Don't they practice some type of like? Somebody told me that their religion is like some type of like Russian religion.
I think a lot of those are Christians, and they got Islam in Russia too, like Altor Bitterbiev. So they got both, I believe. Well, but we know.
Yeah, I thought
like you said,
they had like
say they
some
Christians,
type of
they
Roman Catholic.
They worship in the Lord forces, bro.
There's a lot of Jews too, but they just don't claim it.
Ukrainian Jews, right?
Oh, it is? Okay. So how far is Ukraine from Russia? Like, can you drive? Like, is it like same landmass?
Yeah, they're neighbors.
Oh, wow. So it's like North Carolina and South Carolina going at it or something like that.
Yeah, basically. I mean, because Russia is such a massive country, it's close to everything.
Russia's
and
big,
one thing about it, though, bro, being from the great state of North Carolina blacks and South Carolina blacks will always stand in unity. You know what I'm saying?
I've been to South Carolina.
North Carolina is solid.
Oh,
yeah, I've been to South Carolina.
What city you from in North Carolina?
Greenville.
Greenville, okay.
Greenville. I lived in Raleigh for about 15 years. So
okay.
Yeah.
Is North Carolina like South Carolina?
North Carolina and South Carolina are a lot alike, man.
I got the country dirt roads down there too.
A lot of dirt. I grew up on a dirt road, bro. They didn't pave it until I got 17 years.
Oh wow! So you got that real family structure.
And you know something? I'm gonna tell you something, Art, man. Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you something. It ain't nothing like staying in a place like that, man, because of the love. Like you don't realize what you grew up and what you really miss until you start going out here in the world. And I just sit here, man, and I'm gonna tell you something, man. My mom, she passed away last year, but here's the thing: the amount of love that I not only had from her, but from the community, you can't beat that nowhere. Like I don't care, you grow up in a big city, you know what I'm saying? The same love, same. Number one, because y'all don't really know each other.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And you know, I've been to South Carolina, right? I got some two homeboys, and they took me down there for like a weekend. Man, I ain't gonna lie. I thought that place was country as hell. When people say they're country, I'm like, nah, it ain't country. It's how South Carolina was country. Dirt roads, black folks living in trailer home, black folks wearing the camouflage clothes that the white kids wear.
Right.
I'm like, yo, and then you're right, Julius. The whole family oriented. It's like, yeah, that's true, man.
That's important.
It's in the town, everybody knew each other, dude. All the black families knew each other, and they automatically knew I wasn't from around there.
And one other thing, they won't no tap dancers either. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. They knew I was not from around there.
On that cool stuff. Like for example, they would never, and like I said, man, I praise those people that I grew up with, and because look, bro, a guy like yourself, Art, or D-High, real intelligent guy, you would be lifted up, man. You know, you would be getting, promotion to, keep going. You know what I'm saying?
Man, like, they almost robbed my ass out there in South Carolina, though.
Oh, shit.
Hey, well,
look, because it was like this. Let me put you on game. What happened? It was like this, man. I came out there, right? And my boys, they done took me to the neighborhood. Everybody playing basketball and shit. Everybody's out. The block is out. I'm talking about everybody is out, right? And then, man, we just politicking, and I'm just having that eerie feeling like, man, something ain't right. Something is not right. And then my dude, I guess one of the somebody from down the street seen us, but they called my dude over and they was talking to him, and I was like, hold on, man, I'm about to dip. I'm about to dip real quick. I felt it in my bones. I'm like, yo, I'm about to head back to, because my dude, his pops own a barbershop. So I'm like, nah, these niggas, I already know there's some setup shit. Let me get up out of here. So I dipped out. They met me back at the motherfucking barbershop. And it was like, I was like, yeah, so what was that about? He was like, yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. They asked me if I was around. They asked me if you were around here or you from around here. And I told them no. And it was like, well, they about to get, you know what I'm saying? Basically get on that with me. They was gonna do that.
Oh,
and I was
Lord.
like, dude, I knew it. I felt it in my bones to get up out of it. But it's because I wasn't from around there. You know what I'm saying? You just don't go over there with some flashy shit. You know what I'm saying? I had on J's and everything. We walking on
that's
something
that black folks got to shake for real.
Yeah,
that's all. That's just bottom line, and it's mostly middle to younger black folks.
Yeah, it was some young
saying?
dudes, but you know,
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, you know, we on this tribalism shit. You know what I'm saying? They recognize, you know, they ain't recognize this dude, and they see me with J's and shit on. And you know, we in a country ass place with dirt roads and shit. Of course, they trying to get a lick, which is fucked up. But that's just how it is.
Because then that would have put you in a position where you might have to lay some people down. Then everybody would be in some shit.
I was like 16. I ain't had shit on me.
Oh, no, well,
yeah.
You just would have had to get beat up.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to get beat up on vacation, so I got up out of there.
I tell you this though, man, I will forever call out any cowards, and that's what I call them. I'm not promoting. Let me put a disclaimer out there. Promoting anyone to do any type of crimes, but let me say this: if you man enough to go and rob a person that look just like you can go 2-3 miles. I don't care what city you is. You can go 2-3 miles over to the north or the south, east or west, and go and get some real money. Don't try to go and do this to your people who might not have as much as you even. You know what I'm saying? Go out here, you know what I'm saying? Hit a building, hit a business, you know.
But Julius, I tell you, it's
they
like
don't want to do all that because
movie.
white people be shooting.
It's like that movie, bro. It's like that movie I was trying to tell you about, the Fred Hampton movie, where the brother, you know, he don't rob people with a gun. He rob people with a badge. Black people, he robbed black people with a badge because he knows that black people think when it comes to white people or law enforcement, it's not easy. They think there's an army behind it.
Right, it's an army behind it.
It's an army behind it, but when it's a nigga, they think, oh, you know what I'm saying? All I got to worry about is him and his cousins now. They ain't shit.
You know the thing, man. We'd rather just go ahead. We'd rather just sit around and talk with one another and praise young white guys or white women and tell them how great they're gonna be, how much of a future they got, and you know how inspiring it is to hear them talk or walk or. You know what I'm saying? I'm so sick of that in our community, man. Stop it, please.
Yeah, please. Talking about that buck dancer, Bill O'Neal. Rest in peace.
Man. Who's that? Come on, man.
Who's Bill O'Neal? Who that?
Talking about the rat that got Fred Hampton killed.
Right, yeah. Didn't he get released from jail and then die recently?
Oh, I didn't.
No, the police ran that nigga over.
Oh shit, that's not funny.
Yeah. Good.
All that shit about this man, they that dude was.
Are you really? Y'all really? He was. Stuff, bro?
Cooning though doesn't pay.
They didn't wait time for him to have a tell-all book.
There is no retirement package for Coonan. Look at Omarosa. You want to use a high class story? That bitch had all the bread in the world while she was married to a black man. He died, in which I think that's some suspect stuff going on. She got her little job, and then she got fired, and now she want to talk shit. There is no retirement package.
She come out and said Trump said the N-word. We like, bitch. You think we surprised?
He's like, oh look, everybody, Trump racist. Trump at the house dying. He's like, bitch, how you think I got here? But now, Cozarito in the chat all over. He's saying some real stuff. Like he was saying how it's convenient that all of a sudden Biden wants to try to ride out the war effort into the midterms. Exactly. And one thing that puts me onto the situation is that Putin understand, like Putin with all that nuclear shit, Putin's full of shit. Because to be honest, Putin hasn't worked this hard to preserve his wealth and power in that nation just to end it all over the Ukraine. He knows that if the Ukraine is not directly signed with NATO, then they're not a part of the Mutual Protection Pact. That means that anybody who will put their ass on the line for Ukraine is engaging in a conflict that doesn't have the legal backing of NATO yet. And he knows Ukraine isn't going to do shit because he's already killed 5 Ukrainians. He's launching shells over the border, and there's zero counterattack. Now the United States.
Hey, you said he done what?
He's killed 5 Ukrainians already, and
according to who?
According to news articles,
right? Everything according to the propaganda. So you think it's real or not? Because that's what they say about him. That's what they said about him. That don't mean it's true, bro.
Well, the reason why I say that is because Russia's actively been at war with Ukraine since they annexed Crimea back in 2014. So they've already actively had troops and been bombing Ukraine for the longest. This is just the first time they're making a formal invasion with a full mechanized army.
Okay.
So that's the only reason why I say that. If the whole war over that airport and the war on I believe it's called Donbass hadn't happened, I'd agree with you completely. But the Russian soldiers are on video engaging the Ukrainian military already. So he's already been killing people. And it just is what it is. But Ukraine has for some reason not fired back. That's what I was going to say was suspect. The Ukrainian forces are not actively engaging the Russians. That's what I think is suspect.
Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of stuff be fake. A lot of stuff we think is real be fake, and a lot of stuff we think is fake be real. You know what I mean? So a lot of they orchestrate it.
Yeah, that's what I think might be orchestrated right there. This is why I'm starting to agree with you, because they're claiming that the Russians are actively launching shells, which they've done before, but the Ukrainians have not initiated any form of counterattack. Right. That's why I'm saying what Cozarito's saying is right. Biden trying to keep this shit smooth.
We all know about false flags, and we also know they can literally control the population. Once you own the media, you can control the people. So if people was starting to get stand up for themselves and starting to look at the fakery with the stuff that we know happened in Canada in the convoy stuff, so what better way to get their mind off of there? So they collectively gets our conscience of the people, they direct it to wherever they want to be at. So if they want to distract black people, they have a situation where a police officer kills a black guy and black people get upset for a couple of seconds. Then they also use the same energy to focus on certain things with sports. It's all connected. And a lot of those people that you think is enemies is not enemies. They part of the same organization. We see what's the dude name? George Bush, and the guy, what's the white guy that ran with George Bush?
Dick Cheney.
No, he was going against him.
Well, you said ran with him. That was Dick Cheney.
No, not ran with him, against him as a
Al Gore.
No, this second time after Gore, John Kerry.
Yeah, John Kerry.
Right. So we know they was part of the same Skull and Bones organization. So they put their pieces in together. They always win. It's rigged. So that's how they do. They always gonna have their agenda going forward based on that, and then they get people upset. Oh, you gotta vote, and then they say you're dumb for not voting, and then it's crazy. Man.
And that honestly, I can agree with what you're saying right there. But one thing that comes down to is that's just standard race protocol. They see white people, no matter what you say, you get a job, you get a job, you get a job. Like, for example, look at the Federal Reserve and high banking positions in the United States. If you actually take a look at who's been in charge of the Federal Reserve and the United States Treasury, they've all worked for the same damn company, which is Goldman Sachs.
The Federal Reserve is not owned by the government.
Yeah, it's a combination of Pride 12.
It's not even federal. It's not even federal. It's owned
by not at all.
Yeah,
literally 12 private member banks control our monetary system.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
So people just be talking like, oh, the government's good. Like even this inflation bullshit. Ain't no motherfucking inflation. Like inflation is 2% per year. This is not inflation. This is a straight up gouge, and they're trying to widen the chasm between the haves and the have-nots for the next half of the century.
So, Julius, starting with you, Julius, what would you do if you was the head of if you became the president of the United States? What would be some of the policies that you would put in place?
Oh well, damn, that's a massive
Look,
question.
hey, let me say something, bro. You asked me this question on a boxing show, but
no, we just talking about.
I'll say this.
They got all boxing.
I'll say this, bro. I'm real heavy on the court system.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm real heavy on. So I would do some, you know what I'm saying, some work in the judicial system.
Okay.
You know, I would be removing, you know what I'm saying, some race soldiers from out of there, you know, and I'm talking about local government more so than on a, you know what I'm saying.
You'll be the
federal.
president, bro. You'll be the president of the United States. You know what I'm saying? So you'll have them underground bunkers. You might have access to a couple aliens. So you're gonna have deeper levels of power. You know what I'm saying? Some UFOs, different things like that.
Right.
So
I'm just telling you, bro. That's pretty much what, you know.
Hold on. I just got back. What is the conversation?
we got off topic.
He has Julius what he would do if he was the president.
It was D-High fault. They got off topic.
Hey, hold.
Man, I just got back. Y'all talking about bunkers, UFOs. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm talking about boxing, bro.
Hey.
I was trying to bring up.
I thought y'all was talking about
White.
just
I
look
was
like
trying
an
to bring up
alien or
Dylan White because he just signed his contract.
Niggas say UFOs.
Yeah, let's talk about Dylan White. But for the record, I was still stuck on the Lomachenko and Usyk being a couple of bitches.
See, that's where it started.
And that's why I said to you.
Speaking of politics, what do y'all think about I don't know where Julius went. I ain't kick him out. But speaking of politics, what do y'all think about White versus Fury? That whole fiasco. They talking about that man don't sign by 6 a.m. UK time. It's over with.
He already signed.
He signed
already. Yeah.
I heard he was trying to hold out for more bread, which I was like,
I think sells more than Fury over there. Fury doesn't really fight over there. So to give him 20%, I can see what he really mean. Hey, Art man, say if you charge $100 a hoodie, right? And somebody talking about they gonna pay you $50 a hoodie, you're gonna be like, what? And then they do a purse bid, and then they come up and they pay you 60. You be like, all right, but I'm not gonna promote this event. I'm not gonna tell nobody about it. I mean, I understand. I'm gonna be really honest with you, bro.
I understand what he was talking about, but the thing about it is, number one, you're dealing with Tyson Fury and Kinahan, so that's number one. Number two, this little 8 to 10 million you're getting is literally the highest purse you've ever gotten. This is more money than when you were fighting AJ. So, and considering the deal that they've already given you, you don't have a whole lot of room for negotiation. So you might just want to go ahead, take what you're given, and take this L.
Have a little leverage though, D-High, because his personality, you gotta admit, you might not like him or not. I always wanted Water to knock him out. Thought he could do it in the first round. He a clout chaser, but he does have a personality, and stylistically they mash. So if he go there and don't really promote it, don't put it on social media, it's gonna affect their sales. That's money.
All right, let me ask you that fight. Who wants to see the fight outside of anybody that living in Manchester?
I was gonna say, I think the fight gonna do booty regardless.
You think so?
I mean, I'm just being real.
So I personally believe that they overpaid for it, and now with him not promoting,
hell yeah,
I think they overpaid for it.
Hell yeah, I'm like, bro, when Kinahan, because Kinahan trying to slide Fury some retirement bread because he ain't gonna fight too much longer. But yeah, when I heard they broke out over 40 million, I was like, for who?
That's what I'm saying. I was
like, nigga, for Tyson Fury.
Yeah, they gonna be regret not paying them. That's why they should have just gave them at least 30-35%, because now they gonna be regretting it because they gonna lose money and Fury gonna get his bread. And
they already know that. I mean, like I said, man, if you don't live in Manchester, England, or London, like, how you want to see the fight? I mean, I'm just being real. Like, Dillian White could talk about his resume, but I'm speaking for a boxing fan that live in America.
Yeah, that's a UK fight. You know what I mean? It's probably gonna
Yeah,
have like 50,000 people
yeah.
there. That's a UK fight. But
I
from
Yeah.
an
man,
entertainment
Do
I
you
made a
really
standpoint,
think
statement
it's gonna
today.
be
entertainment.
50,000? Like when has Tyson Fury ever brought the people out like that?
I don't know how many Klitschko, but that was in Klitschko hometown. But that's why they figure they can get some money because they get some pay-per-views. Because Dylan White, believe it or not, is a good pay-per-view seller, even though their pay-per-views like $30 over there. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. You know what I mean? Let's see
Yeah.
what happens.
Dillian White was only, I think Dillian White was only a major player in the heavyweight scene as long as Wilder was here because he was meant to serve as a guard dog between Wilder and AJ. Now that Wilder is kind of out of the picture right now, Dillian White is like, that's why people weren't really pushing for him to get his title shot. People were laughing at him. They were like, how come you don't sign the paper, stupid? So, I think that now that Wilder is sort of on hiatus right now, Dillian White and his career is of lesser priority.
Yeah.
Because when Wilder had the strap, everybody was like, oh, White needed his fucking title shot.
If Dylan White win, because he has a chance stylistically. He just got to be in superb condition because Fury got good conditioning, But homeboy, tired.
If he win, everybody gonna want to fight him. But outside of that, man, I'm gonna just keep it. I'm gonna keep it real, man. I don't care nothing about Dillian White, man, or that fight. No, it ain't that I don't like him. It just don't matter to me. Like if that fight made, it doesn't move nothing for me. No needle, nothing. Like Dillian White, man, is a scrub. Now he might be capable of winning.
You
Come
going
on,
ain't no scrub, bro.
He ain't a scrub,
no scrub, bro. Nah.
man.
Hey,
Man,
Julius,
you
he ain't
can
no
knock
scrub, bro.
unconscious
Nah,
by
bro.
perfection,
I can't
man.
let you
Come
say
on
that,
now.
bro. I see if you say you don't like him, but to say he a scrub, he ain't no scrub, bro.
Nah. Okay, like, hey, I'm speaking for me, man. I just think the guy's scrub, man.
And I hate to say that because Wilder is one of my favorites. He actually do got a better resume than Wilder, and that does mean something. You know what I mean?
I put him to you like this: those two wins against Luis Ortiz, to me, the two wins against Luis Ortiz, to me, is better than any win Dillian White has as a pro.
Joseph Parker, let me see. Joseph Parker
is butt, man.
When he beat him, he wasn't. You gotta look at it in the context. Julius, if you're gonna do that, why Wilder didn't need to fight Luis Ortiz again? To be honest with you, that was like a wasted. So it's really one with Luis Ortiz. You know what I'm saying?
That was really. I think the fight Luis Ortiz, the second fight, was like a mandatory, and also the first fight was so well. It was such a good fight.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It was
come
a great
from behind
fight, bro. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was a
I
good
thought he was gonna get knocked out, bro.
So that's what I'm saying. So you can do it again. But if you tell me Joseph Parker, a guy that ain't did nothing, that not only that, but is a happy loser.
So who
anybody
that's a happy loser, Chisora or Bermain Stavern? Who you think better?
Chisora and Severn are the same type of fighters.
Okay, so he beat
But let me say this: Bermain, before he fought Wilder, would have beat Chisora, and he might have beat him, and Dillian White would have been a drawish type fight. But that was before he lost to Wilder the first time. Once Wilder beat him up those 12 rounds, Stavern was nothing no more. And then Wilder knocked him out in a few seconds. Like, I don't know, man. I just think a lot of them guys are scrubs, man. But hey, look, man, I'm glad they're making a living. But that's scrubs, man. They scrubs. Yeah. And look, that's why Dillian fell out of that fight with Wayland, because he was gonna get beat up then. Come on, man.
Been smart though, right? That wouldn't have been smart to fight Wallin if you was.
No, he would have just got. But what I'm saying is, but he the one signed the fight. Nobody told him to fight Wallin.
Prior to that, and it's not about size, but prior to that, I don't think the fight with Wilder and Fury didn't happen. It had already gotten signed, so he probably was just trying to say, okay, I'm gonna do this one. But
and he would have got beat.
to be stupid. He might have really lost to Waleem, to be
My-
honest.
He would have got beat. I
My
mean, that's
thing
what I'm
is-
telling you.
He is like he's done.
I mean,
My thing is, why
I mean,
why
bro,
are he calling out
I'm
for
a-
Wilder now? Like, I know after Fury, whatever happens, he should be calling out Wilder. He talked all that shit. So
he's trying to go for undisputed. They're gonna pay him. They're gonna pay him at least 20. You know what I'm
but
saying?
bro,
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you the
20.
honest to God truth, man. We like sitting up here talking about Dillian White. Like for real. We up here having a conversation about Dillian White, man. Just saying.
That fight gonna be exciting, bro. Watch. The fight gonna be interesting, man.
It might
no,
be.
bro, it's not because Fury gonna make it boring because the thing is, you're right. I agree with Jalik that because Dillian White is so awkward, and what's most dangerous about him is that he lets his hands go when he's hurt. I think that Tyson Fury is going to try to make this fight as boring as humanly possible because he knows Dillian White is very slow on his feet. He doesn't throw many combinations, and you know when you hurt Dillian White, you just got to back him off him a little bit. I mean, he's the tallest heavyweight. He has the most reach. He's just gonna box him to a decision.
Yeah, he can't take him light because he can get knocked out, man.
Well, that's the only way you're gonna beat Tyson Fury at this point in his career. You have to put him to sleep because you're not getting a decision.
Fury sometimes
Y'all still talking about Dillian White?
Wait, what? Who? What?
The way he prepared himself for Wilder might not be like for everybody because he knew Wilder was super dangerous and was one of the best heavyweights. So psychologically, he been through a lot. That even though he won the fight, well, he got hit a lot, man. He got hit a lot. I'm surprised he got up. So that has an effect on you. So going into this fight, we're gonna see, bro. We're gonna see, man.
Yeah, and the thing about it is that the reason also why they gave him such a heavy ass payday and why I said it was a retirement bag is because Fury has been on tape saying that he does not want to fight Usyk. He says that Usyk is not a draw. Usyk doesn't sell. He's a bum. I'll whoop his ass. He's too small. Da 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 da. So if AJ wins, if AJ beats Usyk, oh yeah, he's gonna be all over that ass. But if fucking Usyk fuck around and win, I don't know what he's gonna do. He's gonna fight one or two bums and retire or some shit. Like I don't know what the plan is.
He sound like he gonna retire, man.
Yeah, because he knows that AJ is a fucking refrigerator with legs that's there to be hit. Whereas Usyk, you know, move around, get some on the inside, make you look like the nigga, that little, you know, that inflatable dude they got in front of car dealerships, the dude who's like lanky and be, you know, blowing around and shit. You're gonna have Fury looking like that dude trying to punch him.
Hey, look, man, we sitting up here talking about two drug cheats, but Dillian White, another straight up drug cheat that can't fight. And so for me to start talking about how awkward he is, the first thing I need for him to do is to pee in a cup or let's take some blood from him.
No, shit.
Take some blood.
You have to get busted,
bro.
I mean,
let me see your blood, bro.
He got at least 3 positive PED tests, man. 3. Can you imagine? Yes, he's no different than Big Baby Miller. Yeah, the propaganda. Now you talk about the propaganda. I got to bring it up.
Yeah.
So Big Baby Miller been busted for steroids 3 times, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so has Dillian White.
Maybe 4 or 5 times with Don, because one time he got caught was like 2 or 3 times, 2 different drugs.
Okay, so basically both of them are dope heads. You know,
Tyson
Fury. Yeah, so and Fury. That's what I'm saying. And Fury, we got multiple drug cheat, and we sitting up here talking about Dillian White, but yet Big Baby Miller is ostracized. But we talking about these 2 guys fighting. That's what I'm talking about, man.
Well, Miller ain't got no fights coming up.
No. I got you. I'm just showing you how the boxing game can kick somebody out, but yet keep other drug cheats in.
Yeah, we see that all the time. Yeah.
I mean, Dillian White is like I say, he's a super drug cheat that can't fight. Okay, he got lucky and knocked a few people out that he shouldn't have in lucky fights that he probably was juicing in. I can't talk about him unless I'm gonna talk about him going into wrestling.
I think he's scared, bro.
Yo, Julius,
I think he's
scared,
man.
You know Dillian White got family from Greensboro, right?
What? Hey, Hey, look, I
was
did
just
not. I even if he did,
I was
I
about
would
to say,
keep
like, get the fuck out of here.
I keep the same energy.
I was like, that
you know,
nigga.
hey,
Hey,
yo,
I'm gonna
Julie,
keep
you
it.
know,
I'm gonna keep it
North
100.
Carolinians stick together no matter what.
I think
They'll
he's
stick
scared,
together no
y'all.
matter what.
Dillian White, you think Dillian White
I
scared?
think Dillian White is scared, y'all,
Because he knows it's not a
because
winnable situation.
because he knows, man, about the drugs. He know about everything, the Path and Sport gloves, all that. He's stepping into a Queensberry DK promotion
Hold up
fight.
a second. Art man, why would he be scared? He drugging too.
That's what I'm saying. He know
So
who
it's a
he knows a
double
big.
dope.
He
Maybe he
knows
didn't do good in
he
sparring
knows
against
there's a
them,
bigger
sparring and
gangster
everything. But
involved. He knows
Okay.
he's not winning this shit.
Yeah, like if he get in there, if he get in there and sleep Tyson Fury, his next dosage might be off. Know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
okay, you gonna do your hoodies for it? You gonna do your UK hoodies? You gonna do some hoodies for it?
What for White versus
Dylan
Fury?
versus Fury, yeah.
Why
It depends
not?
if they
Art?
request. It depends if they request
Yeah,
it.
you know UK gonna like that, bro. You'll make
I'll admit I don't really like Dillian White at all, but I will admit this: his fights, for the most part, do be entertaining. I'm
and
gonna
they
keep it
do.
100.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna keep it 100.
He
Like
used to
him
talk so much
him
shit,
versus Chisora 1 and 2 was some of the best fights. I swear
You know
to
what? He used
God.
to bring out Wilder name for no reason. I'm like, bro, concentrate on your fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, what are
Man,
you doing?
the
He
Dillian
wanted.
White
He
fight,
look.
all
Dillian
right,
White wanted that WBC title shot when Wilder had the damn belt. Now
Yeah.
when Tyson Fury get the belt, because when Tyson Fury get the belt is man. Look, let's be real. Where Frank Warren get the 41 million for this goddamn fight?
Oh, you
Is
know
this fight
where.
even gonna generate 41 million?
Yeah,
I
because
strongly doubt it.
That's drug money,
pay per
man.
view $30. How many pay per views? If they do $1 million, that's $30. That's 30
Hey.
million.
A million
Hey,
pay-per-views?
Keep it a buck now.
Oh, this dude
Hey,
crazy.
let's keep it
Yeah,
up.
it'll do $1 million
You
over
talking
there,
about
bro.
drug money, man.
It'll do $1 million. It should do at least $1 million over
41,
in the UK.
bro.
It's not finna do
$41
$1 million.
million
Remember,
on
it's
this
only like
fight
Man,
right
25
come on,
$30.
man.
It's cheap. It's not the same.
Bro,
No, I
we
understand that,
talking
and I'm
about-
saying it's not getting ready to do no million. I'm gonna tell you that off top. It's not
I said
getting
$1
ready.
million.
okay.
I said $1 million.
I know it's not gonna do 1 million. I don't believe
Oh,
it.
wow.
Hey, look, man.
Nah, it's gonna do
I'm
it
gonna
good
be honest with y'all, bro.
in the UK,
Hey,
bro. It's
D-Hive,
gonna
I
do
know
$1
you got a D-Hive, I know you got a, you know what I'm saying, a good job, and you know what I'm saying. Maybe you've heard some things up there in the government, man. But I put it to you like this: this fight is nothing more than if Pablo Escobar was throwing this fight. You know what I'm saying? Or what's my man from Mexico? What's my man from Mexico?
Nobody in boxing is gonna say, how the hell did Frank Warren get 41 million fucking dollars?
And you know what Bob
what fight
man?
generated that for him?
Ain't
Man,
no
sit back,
journalist
smile.
gonna say it because it fuck around and come up missing.
But
Yeah.
you know what I find interesting? Crawford, they say is working with dude. So if he got that
Right.
bread, and then PBC talking about they don't got the bread, then why won't they work with my man to make the money for the
hold
fight
up
that
a
everybody
second.
wanna see?
Hold up a second now. PBC said they didn't have the bread, but they just offered Canelo a 2-fight deal,
Exactly.
almost 100 million. So
They-
they got
$1 million.
They said
look, man.
Crawford wasn't. They said Crawford wasn't worth the bread. They didn't say they didn't have
Yeah,
it.
that's what that is. They didn't say they didn't have it,
Right.
but
so
I'm just saying,
that
man.
fight can do just
this
as many. Jamal Charlo, if they promote it right, Jamal Charlo, Canelo, you can get Terrence Crawford and if they do it right, Terrence Crawford and Earl to do just almost around the same, but less marketing dollars, and they paying them less money, so they can make more profit off of Earl and Bud than they can Jamal Charlo and Canelo, in my opinion.
I agree, but the thing is, you got to negotiate fee splits with a fucking madman. Like
That's what we talking about.
like. I
Let me
mean,
ask you this: you think you think it's cool for him to go on the fight to think that he's not worth 50-50? Like you want him to have a business psychology inferiority complex?
Hey,
well,
hold
first
on.
of all, I
Like,
don't give
why
a
would you-
fuck how
why
Bud
would you
feels
want
going
that?
into the fight as
Like,
long as
why
he
would you want
fights.
Crawford to do that? That'd be stupid for him to even think of himself
Well-
like that. You gotta have
Well,
like
I
that's why
disagree, bro.
he
I
don't.
mean,
I
He
disagree,
Earl
bro.
Spence ain't no pay-per-view star, bro.
Hey,
Well, he is.
hey,
Crawford is on the short end.
I
Crawford
disagree,
is.
brother.
Oh,
Hey,
go ahead,
hey,
Julius, go
brother,
ahead.
I'm gonna tell you why I disagree with you, okay? Because when you go into a negotiation and you know it's gonna be a contentious negotiation, your main objective should be, am I gonna get something that I'm satisfied with? Because don't worry about the other side, bro. We done seen it millions of times in boxing where guys that were big as look, let me say this, and this ain't no as they say cap. Man, it was guys that fought on NBC and ABC back in the day that got 79 and 75 and 50 million people to watch their fights, bro. So it's people that would
Sugar Ray
draw.
and Hearns, they said that
And
shit did 300 million views.
and here's the
That's when
thing.
boxing was
They
popular.
took
Boxing is not
and
popular.
they took lesser money to fight guys. People talk about Mayweather and De La Hoya. No, how about Mayweather against Arturo Gatti? Mayweather took less. How about Mayweather versus Diego Corrales? They went on even terms. Bro, this thing done happened so many times, man. And let me tell you this. I believe that if Bud would just come to the table, bro. Now look,
How do you know he
Al
doesn't? How do
Haymon
you
is
know
a
he never
smart man.
tried though? That's the whole thing. Like,
But
what do
yeah,
you?
that's what I'm saying. So you don't know. I don't
Yeah,
think
he
you're
could have
lessening
tried to do
yourself.
it. He could have tried to do it. Like, why were Earl? You ever ask somebody to do something for you? Like, yo, take me to the airport. They like, man, I'm tired. And
No,
you
but
ask
Wait,
again,
wait. So
and
you think
hold up. Let me
You think
ask.
why,
Heyman
why
kicked
you
his
Let me
ass
ask
out the
you this.
office?
why is he bringing up? Why Earl bringing up money with Crawford, but he don't bring up
Well,
money
hold
with
up.
Lucas?
But let me ask you this question
Why
though.
does he do that?
Why
Like,
would Canelo bring up money? Why when people
no,
bring
we
up
talking about Earl.
Canelo
No,
and
we
pay per
talking about
view?
Earl.
I
Keep it
know,
on
I
Earl.
know,
Keep
I
it on
got
Earl, Julius. Keep it on
you.
Earl.
No. I am. Just hear
Okay,
me out.
let's let my brother Julius speak his piece, and then y'all go
I'm
on.
saying this. I'm saying this. When Canelo and guys of that ilk talk about money, and I'm talking about putting Mayweather in there too, or if they talk about a split, or if they talk about it, it's okay for guys to come into negotiation not knowing that they're not going to get 50%. But when it's two black fighters, it'll be lesser than Bud to come into the negotiation thinking he deserved 50-50 or less than. And the reason I bring that up is because Earl Spence is actually a bigger draw in America than Canelo Alvarez. But yet people
I
so
wouldn't agree
crazy.
with
And I'm
that.
not
I wouldn't
saying
agree
you,
with that
I'm
one,
talking
Julius.
about
In
wait, hold
America,
on a second.
I wouldn't
Now,
agree.
Canelo never done a crowd in the United States of 60,000 like Earl Spence did.
He fought
He
Billy
done a
Joe.
lot.
He done more actually against Billy, but like Canelo is what he
No,
is.
no, where was that fight now?
That was in Dallas in the same location.
Okay, and then he had 60,000 people that
He
was
had
at
more
that
than
fight.
that. He had like 70 something. He had more.
I don't
It broke the
remember
record.
that. And
It broke the record.
somebody get on it. Somebody
Yeah,
get on it.
it broke. He
I
broke.
don't remember.
After y'all done, I'm gonna add in my bit.
But
So y'all go
just
ahead.
one fight, it's an accumulation of things. Also, Earl Spence is trapped. And anybody want to bet? I'll put the money up. I got Boots knocking him out. And listen, why
Dang.
would he fight
Okay, well, what
Boots
that
for
got to
less
do with
money?
this?
Hold, let me explain something to you, bro. Your
Okay.
opponent matters. Terrence Crawford is his biggest money fight out there. Homeboy about to be the mandatory. So if Al Haymon if they don't come to the table and make that fight, he gonna get knocked out, or his image is gonna be done because he's gonna give up the belt and just move up. His image is already trending downwards. If Errol Spence was a top, it's trending downwards. I hope he beat Knox. I'm only spitting facts, bro. Because
But let me.
But why is he trending downward?
Well,
Like
let
what
me.
is making him down?
because one, he hasn't had a knockout in 4 years against Ocampo. His last mandatory. That's one of the
Okay,
reasons.
how many fights has he had since then?
Oh, I'm gonna tell you, that's one of the reasons. Also, other
Okay.
people around him their star power has gone up. Boots, Crawford ain't have a decision in almost 7 years. I mean,
Okay.
last time he went to a decision. So other people around him is
Best
still improving.
opponent was who? His best opponent was who? And I love Bud Crawford.
I'm just talking about his buzz. He's bigger star than that. Now I can tell you some weaknesses on him because I ain't no fanboy of Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Certain things that he do in the public. You know, one thing that I would if I was his manager, I would teach him how to master the media, so he doesn't, so he know how to control the media.
Well, let me add in on the part where you initially asked about Bud Crawford's business psychology heading into a fight. Now, when Artman was talking about the Daniel Kinahan situation, I initially said if he wants to partner with Daniel Kinahan to give him some more bread at the negotiating table, to be able to have some sort of backing because he's promotionally homeless, to so where he can have some more bargaining chips or potentially get more big fights to make the fights easier to make, that's great. But outside of that, I'm not really concerned. As far as his business psychology is going into the fight, unfortunately, that's not something that I'm going to be concerned about, because no matter how you slice it, he is not really in a position to dictate that many terms.
Oh shit, I forgot. I got Jalika on here. The number one boots stand. Shit.
And the thing about the boot situation is that if you want to say Errol Spence Jr. is trapped between boots, I think to be honest, it's a Crawford situation. Crawford is trapped between boots because the WBA.
He's IBF man though. Explain that. The WBO number one is Virgil. Virgil is he's going to fight Virgil. So explain that.
I'm going to tell you. Number one, he's not really gonna. I'm not really sure that he's gonna fight Virgil, because Virgil's made it clear on multiple occasions that he doesn't actually plan to. He doesn't actually want to fight Crawford, especially because he's fighting fucking McKenton next. Number two, Virgil Ortiz Jr. is also the number one for the WBC. Number three, once fucking Butayev and Stanionis fight, I'm not convinced that they're gonna actually step aside one more time for a potential Bud and Spence fight. And also, one thing that's important to remember. When Sean Porter was mandated for Bud Crawford, Sean Porter was in the number 2 position for the WBO because the number 1, who was also then Virgil Ortiz Jr., didn't want to fight him. Jaron Ennis is number 2 for the WBO, and the number 1, Virgil Ortiz Jr., still doesn't want to fight him. So if you want to talk about,
each sanctioned organization has a chance. So the WBO just had theirs with Sean Porter. So now it's the IBF time. Remember, he hasn't fought an IBF Mando since June 2008. Against Carlos Ocampo. He beat him in Dallas. So it's time for his IBF to come. So as if you was Al Heyman, why would you tell him to fight Boots Ennis for less money? It's not going to be as a bigger fight for diehards. It will be, because we know it. But Crawford is a way bigger name. People, when you bring those two together, is there. Crawford is Errol Spence's biggest money-making opponent. So unless he's going to break up with Derek James, or Jamel Charlo is going to leave Derek James, who is he going to fight at 154? Lubin? Lubin ain't a bigger name than Crawford. You see how the business works out? So they need each other, bro.
No one is disputing that Crawford is the biggest money fight. All I was talking about was the boots. All I was talking about was the boots situation, and also the first 2 slots, because the IBF is restructuring. The first 2 slots for the IBF are empty. Not to mention, because what's that guy's name?
Clayton and Boots is for the number 1 IBF spot.
Well, we will have to see, because Armadillo, that dude, fought Crowley, and that was supposed to be a partial eliminator. And then the first 2 slots, those 2 were removed. It's
Spence fucked around to fight Canelo.
Ranked as high. Crowley wasn't. I heard Crowley going to fight Jose Cito. He wasn't really ranked as high, so he wasn't
ranked, but Armadillo was, and Armadillo.
But he got beat,
Yeah, he got removed. So now the first 2 slots are empty. So just with the rankings, we don't know who is actually going to be there. Now, if Boots does turn out to be the IBF Mando, that is what it is. But in this particular situation,
fight Crawford, and that's what we want to see. We don't want to see nobody babied up.
But the thing is, the WBO has as good of a chance to mandate Boots on Crawford as it does.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Since he have, they're not going to mandate that. Virgil is higher than him. They already said it recently.
But Virgil doesn't want to fight him.
That's why they fight Michael McKinnison.
Virgil does not want to fight him. He's been the number 1 when Sean Porter was mandated.
Because you be on Twitter, you be backing me up, but you sound like you got a little fear, bro. You sound like you know how your little brother or something. You sound like you.
Shit.
Fear of who? I'm not a professional.
Why are you protecting Errol Spence, bro?
Protecting him from what? Crawford?
No, from Boot. Like, we want to see the fight. Don't you want to see the fight?
Wait, so hold on. You just said that Crawford is his biggest money fight. Now you want him to fight Boots first? You just said you didn't want that.
No, I said Boots is the chess piece to force the fight, the negotiations to go up.
Because, I don't. I
they
don't
make
think
a fight with Crawford, then he just gonna have to fight
Well,
Boots, or he
and
gonna just
and
get a public.
and
His
and,
image is gonna look crazy if he give up the belts and not
and,
fight.
and,
what,
and
what
that's and that's where
is
I'm disagreeing with you, because I'm saying that because Crawford currently doesn't actually have a fight, I'm saying that it can go either way. I don't care who Errol Spence fights. I
but,
really don't. But I'm saying
hold up.
that I'm saying that I'm saying that Bud is in the same position as Errol Spence, and also ultimately Al Heyman has to make the Boots versus Spence fight. So if those two aren't fighting for whatever reason, sanctioning bodies, be damned, Al Heyman actually has the cards on that one. So I don't think that Boots is
Not if
some
it
kind
go
of
to
chess
first
piece.
bid, bro.
Wait,
I
wait,
don't
Jaleel.
think
How would Spence even be able to
Not if it
fight
go to
Boots
first
when
bid. Remember, and there's no rematch clause.
how would Spence even be able to fight Boots if there's stenosis and what's her?
Nah, because the IBF haven't had their mandatory, so theirs is basically
Okay.
next. And look at the.
But let me say this though. Let me say this though, Jalik. You clearly don't watch the show every night, because we've been on this show advocating for Boots to get a title fight. You know what I'm saying? And want to see Boots step up and fight whoever, or anybody step up and fight him. As a matter of fact, I believe that one night we was all up here saying, why not Crawford against Boots? Because Crawford don't have an opponent.
Yeah,
And at the
exactly.
time,
That would be
Boots didn't have an opponent. And
that
Earl
would be
was
stupid
supposed to
because
fight
he's trying to go
Boots.
undisputed. That wouldn't be a good
So,
business move.
but
Wait,
what I'm
why is it not
telling
a good
you
business move
is,
for Bud?
I'm talking
and
about
also,
if I was his manager. As a fan, it's good. I got Boots beating Crawford too.
Oh,
hold on a second, Jaleel.
When I break
Let me
stuff
say
down, I
this,
see it
bro.
as if I'm the manager, and it's also the risk and reward, and also as a fan. So I see it from different perspectives. It wouldn't be good business.
But hold on a second though, bro. I have seen this party. I've seen this party before. I've seen the up and coming guy get fights and win, and seen the up and coming guy get fights and get beat.
That's why we gotta
So
wait to see.
I'm with it. I'm with it either way.
But my thing is, you're saying that Boots is a
Let me
quality
say this.
opponent for Spence without a belt. Wouldn't he be a
Let me-
better
let me-
opponent with
let me say
one?
this, though, bro. Hey, let me say
You
this,
want to see
brother.
undisputed or not?
But hold on. Let me say this, brother. I have no.
Homeboy
I have no.
said he gonna beat Ugas and then he gonna go for. I just seen it
All right,
a couple days ago.
Well, hold on, Jalik. Let me go on and bust your bubble here for a second.
Go ahead,
Because you looking for someone that is like a protector of these fighters. I'm not a protector of Earl Spence. I'm not a protector of Bud Crawford. I'm not the protector of Canelo, not the protector of Boots or any other professional fighter. You win and you lose. I have said this million times. Look, man, I think that these guys wait too long to get these title fights. Felix Trinidad won the title at 20. Mayweather, them guys won belts at 19, 20 years old. So Boots 24, 25. Hey, I'm all for these guys. Why would he wait till he's 27 or 28? Yeah. I mean, Boots Ennis is a great fighter. And Boots Ennis can beat world champions right now. And he might beat Spence. He might beat Bud. You know what I'm saying? But he might lose. We got to fight.
Julius, all the great fights that we wanted to see, we never got a chance to. I wanted to see Wilder versus AJ so bad, but guess what? They over marinated and boom, he get knocked out. It always happens. It consistently happens. So the people in charge of boxing don't care about us. They don't care about that.
I don't think that Heyman is using Boots as a chess piece to force Spence to fight Crawford. I don't think you're gonna have to force him to fight.
But he has no. Stephen Espinosa is.
Did you hear the interview with Cameron Duncan? Did you hear that interview with Cameron Duncan, who is Boots' promoter, right? Did you hear the interview?
Is the one. Stephen Espinosa.
Hold on a second, bro. Hold up 1 second. Did you hear the interview with Cameron Duncan, Boots Ennis promoter?
Go ahead and say what you're gonna say, bro.
Okay. They asked Barbershop Cameron Duncan several times, hey, how about you go ahead and move him to that title fight right now? He's ready. He said, nah, we're going to take a couple fights. And let me tell you why. Cameron Duncan knows at some point he's going to have to sell that contract, the Boots, over to Al Heyman. Al Heyman is going to become Boots' advisor at some point. He knows this. So he trying to milk as many of them Boots in his paydays that he can get alone himself. And see, this is why I be saying that these guys, one thing Bud Crawford said is true. These guys ain't ducking one another. Bud would fight Boots tomorrow. And Earl Spence would fight Boots. And Boots will fight them. He'll fight Ugas.
You don't think guys get intimidated? You don't think guys don't be wanting to fight? Why Danny Garcia ain't want to fight Crawford?
Hey, because now I will admit that guys don't want to fight certain guys because they know it's a hard day at the office and they want to get super paid for it. But nope. I can't speak for every fighter, but nine out of 10 fighters are not like physically afraid to fight a guy, even if they lose. Man, fighters fight every day. They know they're gonna lose.
Yeah, it's one thing to be afraid, but it's one thing to have the confidence in yourself to feel like you're gonna win. It's totally different.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there are fighters that take fights and they don't have
they're gonna get knocked out, but that don't mean you're afraid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So do you think that Bud and Spence and Ugas and who else at the welterweight or Gary A. Russell? You think that
he had 140, bro? He fighting this week. He had 140.
Right, I got you. But I'm just naming people. I'm actually naming people that he gonna fight next fight. But I'm just saying, do you actually think that these guys are think that they don't have the confidence to beat Boots?
They because his profile is getting bigger. I personally
I asked a direct question. Do you think those guys lack
you just
the confidence?
talking about Boots, or you just want to talk about boxers in general?
No, I'm talking about those particular name. Do you think that they would have confidence issues about fighting Boots?
The only one that I can see is Crawford. Like Earl Spencer, man, that's not a good style, bro. He'll get hurt quick too. That's not.
But against who?
I'm telling you, bro.
Man,
and then once again, you understand how rich Earl is? Boots ain't rich like that, so it's a whole new different ball game, man.
Oh, so you said Earl Spence using the Danny Jacobs, the Danny Jacobs. I'm touching M's.
And let me mention something to y'all, because most people think, like I said, you gotta sometimes put your manager hat on. If it was Earl Spence fighting Ugas is gonna be a rough and rugged fight. Hopefully he don't get injured and everything comes up fine. I'm pulling for him to win. I want the old Earl back from 2016 when he was with Blu-ray getting knockouts. That's the Earl I want to see.
Oh boy.
Based on style, it's a rough and rugged style, right? So that's just putting more extra wear and tear on him. And guess what? If he fights Crawford, then he's just not going. Even if you win the fight, he's still taking more wear and tear. So is it really a good business move to fight Ugas?
No, so what?
Well, yeah, absolutely, because it goes into a 3-belt unification and it makes the Crawford fight bigger.
I don't care wear and tear on Earl Spence.
It's definitely a good business move.
Now, let me ask you a question. When Ray Leonard fought Thomas Hearns in his early 20s and got a detached retina, did that win that he had took anything from his career? He had a detached retina. Retina in 1970.
I thought it happened in the fight against the
he caught an eye injury in fight two. So I'm saying this, bro. I'm just saying the wear and tear. I don't care about the fighters wear and tear. I don't want to.
So say Julius, you know how risk versus rewards work, right? You know,
you 33
manager, like that's how these guys think. Right. So these guys come in a situation if they really care about the fighter. A lot of times they don't. Why did Al Heyman? Listen to this, bro. I'm explaining. Why did Al Heyman put Wilder in against a 6'4" southpaw, and he was getting ready for the rematch against Tyson Fury? That's not cool, bro. That's not cool. And then they say Al Heyman. Why would he do that? He already beat him. At that time, Luis Ortiz didn't even really build up his buzz to make people want to see it again, even though their first fight was there because everybody wanted AJ.
That's wild.
Why didn't we fight Dylan White back then? Dylan White rugged style.
Well,
Dylan White
let us
would have got
answer
there. You
let
see
us
what I'm
answer
saying?
some
So
of let us answer some of the
sometimes the
questions you
managers
said.
be getting them crazy, bro.
Well,
Hold on,
well,
Jaleel,
let
All right, I'm gonna
go
say
ahead.
this,
Speak.
bro. I
oh,
think
go
that
ahead.
sometimes, first of all, we're fans. So us putting on the manager hat. I mean, yeah, we could hypothetically do it, but in the end, it's about the fights. And it doesn't matter. Look, Deontay Wilder was over 30 years old. So it wasn't like we were talking about a 22-year-old kid. We're talking about a 30-year-old man. And
How old is Crawford? He
sometimes
almost 35, right?
legacy
Crawford almost
and
35.
that's why he should fight everybody he can. He should
Yeah.
fight
And that's what I want
everybody
to see.
he can.
That's what I want to see.
I don't care about is he gonna be okay? Is he gonna
Nah,
be
I'm not
talking
saying it.
correctly in the
I'm
next
not
fight?
saying this if you ever
Man,
okay. I'm just saying that if you want
legacy.
your guy to win, you put your guy in the best
I
position, bro.
don't care if they win.
Well,
That's
well,
the thing
Jaleel,
you don't get
Okay.
about me.
well,
I don't care if they
I
win or
respect that.
lose. I care about the
Jaleel, I
Just want to
honestly
see
think
the fight.
that the fights that you described have been incredibly winnable situations for the fighters. But you also mentioned that you have to go inside thinking about the business perspective. Any fight that's going to be a mega fight for them, that's going to be a high grossing fight for any individual boxer, that's going to be it's going to be a high grossing fight, but there's also going to be a risk element. I think the reason
Yeah.
why Al Hammond did the Luis Ortiz situation not once but twice is not because of his unawareness of Deontay Wilder's abilities. I think he had faith in Deontay to do what was done. And worst comes to worst, it's not like there's not a PBC stable where he can also get some comeback fights to be in line for a belt. But I think he was
Mhm.
But
confident.
why would you, if you get ready for Tyson Fury, who you had trouble with, why would you fight a southpaw? That goes to show you right
one
there. He
second.
over negotiated.
Oh my.
He should have let
So
One
Luis
second.
Ortiz take the fight
One,
with AJ.
okay, go
one
ahead.
Okay,
second.
Jaleel, let the brother speak.
Jaleel, one second.
Nah,
One
go ahead, go
second.
ahead.
Let me tell you. Heavyweights and a lot of boxers are incredibly limited. Now I know I know it sounds like you can just go ahead and train for people and do things, but people like Deontay Wilder, people like Tyson Fury, people like Canelo Alvarez, there's no amount of tune-up fights or sparring that's gonna get you adequately ready for the fight. There's no one even remotely similar in the heavyweight division in size,
Right.
speed, or particular fighting style that is adequate preparation for Tyson Fury. So the fact of the matter is, it wouldn't have actually mattered who he fought at that point. What do you think? Robert Helenius was going to be an adequate matchup to Tyson Fury? No. The point is, you want to put your fighter in situations where if they are going to run into a massive risk like Tyson Fury and probably take an L, they'll have earned enough money to where it won't be a massive setback and give them a chance at a rematch. The same line of logic came in with Luis Ortiz, and the same line of logic came in with Tyson Fury, and it was an extremely good decision because those are incredibly profitable decisions. Now, the Earl Spence and Ugas, not only do I think that's a profitable situation for both the fighters and Al Haymon, but not only do they have notable history against notable opponents in the same division, but it represents a three-belt unification and gets us that much closer to that undisputed fight with Crawford that you just finished explaining to us was so critically important.
Yeah.
And
hopefully
also to add this, you asking should you fight someone similar to the style because you feel that it's a big fight? No, you just fight the biggest fight because here's the thing, that's what practice is for. And every fighter has a training camp. So you don't have to get ready to fight Tyson Fury 2 days later, like in college basketball or the NBA. You get adequate 8 weeks, 6 weeks, 10 weeks to get ready for a fight. And the last time I checked, fight number 1 was one of the best fights that Deontay Wilder fought. So if he fought Fury the first fight, he fought back, then he did the second fight. Well, under your logic, he should have been super ready in the second fight because he had already seen Tyson Fury for 12 rounds. Listen, man, at this top level, fighters have to be able to make adjustments. I don't care who you could get in the ring and fight a guy, and the next thing you know, the guy could turn southpaw in the first or second round. Be able to make adjustment. So how can you get ready to fight Bud Crawford? The only fighter I know that fought exactly like Bud Crawford outside of Boots Ennis was a guy Junior from England back in the day. So you can't always have a fight where you're gonna get the similar and then fight the guy. Fight the best competition, especially it's better to fight the best competition when you're younger because you got your best chance at winning because you're in your absolute prime. And so a lot of times guys worry too much about the business instead of letting fighters fight. Now that's my opinion. And also in the heavyweight division, just fight. That's all you
That's why I
got to
don't
do in the
understand why
heavyweight
they be talking
division.
about 60-40 on the internet, 60-40, 70-30.
Well,
I don't
well,
care
look,
about how much they
that's
make.
Well, they're
hey, but
thinking
here's
like
the
All
thing
the best
about
they're
fighters get
think
paid.
60-40.
I don't.
they're
Here's the
thinking
thing
like
about
managers.
60-40.
That's the issue.
They're not
Right.
managers.
And then they
Have
playing
you
for
heard
boxing
Al
and they
Heyman
only
say
fighting every 10
60-40?
months and they not getting good and their legacies ain't,
But
you know what I'm saying? Their
okay, I
legacies
got you.
ain't doing nothing.
But have you heard Al Heyman ever not only say 60-40? Have you ever heard Al Heyman say hello?
I'm talking about what Earl said. He said
Okay,
it multiple
Earl can talk whatever. Earl
Crawford also talks
is
about money
us.
though.
And he ain't gonna talk to Al Heyman. He can say whatever he want to us.
Yeah.
Do you think he go in Al Heyman office 60-40? He don't go in there doing nothing but listening to what Al got to say about how much money is available, how much we gonna try to get. You know why? Because he trusts Al Heyman.
Yeah,
And
and I'm
listen,
not
Crawford is
concerned about how
already
much. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Bud Crawford is already on record saying that this thing ain't about Earl Spence or Al Heyman not wanting it. It's about Top Rank taking away my opportunities. So we're not going to believe what the guy that's in the middle of all of this has to say. You know what I'm saying? We're not
And
going
the,
to believe him.
Hopefully
and
he
the
He
thing
don't,
didn't
man.
about
say
that is,
it was
Bro,
I
I'm,
don't
Earl
even
I'm
Spence'
care.
for you,
fault.
bro, against Ugas.
He
That's
did.
gonna be a tough fight.
Hold
That's
up.
gonna be a
I'm
tough
just saying. Bud Crawford did not say it was Earl Spence saying 60-40 that stopped this event, and it was Earl Spence that was ducking him by fighting Ugas. All the man said was it was my representation that stopped this event from happening. And guess what? I've been telling people that these guys want to fight, but I would rather them fight everybody. If I could have a guy fight Bud Crawford, Earl Spence, then flip in Josh Taylor and Regis and Gary Antoine Russell, they next 5 fights, I would want it to happen. I'm a fan, bro.
I feel you, bro.
I'm not getting any of the finances. So why do I care
feel you.
about the business?
Yeah,
know
that's why when you ask me about Bud's emotional state when it comes to business, I personally don't care what him or Spence gives. If Spence offers him 60-40, Spence way, I expect him to take it. If Spence offer him 40-60, Bud way, I expect him to take it. Like I just sign the paperwork.
I just hope the fight get made. You know what I'm saying? And I just want the fighters to always get the most money because they take advantage of the fighters. It's obvious. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times they just do what's best for them instead of doing what's best for the fighter. Even with the Cambosa stuff, it's obvious that just based on styles and chances of winning and all those are the things that these factors in. Him versus Cambosa's actually I call him Vanilla Ice. His new nickname is Vanilla Ice. So Vanilla Ice versus Haney is a bigger fight. It'll do better ratings. And I believe he can make more money, you know what I'm saying? So, but he gonna fight Lomachenko because I believe that his people's done silent deals behind his back, and fighters ain't able to peep
Talking
games.
about Cambosa?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because DeBella just got Steven Shaw an ESPN deal. So that's why he's trying
Absolutely.
to slide in on that.
say that again. Say that again.
Look, he's not going behind Cambosa's back. Cambosa in the beginning said, we're gonna enjoy ourselves. We may take a fight in June. We may take this type of fight. We're gonna look for what's the best offer for us. He did not say, I'm looking for the best for me. He
So
know
Julius,
Lou DeBella.
So yeah, he doesn't have a network deal. Who was Richard Come's promoter?
That's DeBella.
He was
Okay. Do
promoted.
you remember when Devin
DeBella.
Haney was looking for a fight? He was looking for a fight around the time when it was with Linares, and he mentioned Come, and then all of a sudden Come wasn't available. Why wouldn't Come fight for a belt? But he fought Lomachenko and said
Come duck that shit.
together and they collude and behind the scenes. Fighters, if they ain't on top of the game, if they not smart, they can't peek people out. You study human nature, you can figure these dudes out easy, bro. Easy.
Hey, well, everybody.
Oh shit. Juicing dropped out again. Yeah, but him Comey ducking was no secret to anybody. I mean, I didn't figure that fight would get made regardless, but he trying to finesse Kambosos into being more than the one hit wonder that he is,
Right.
which I figured that too. The moment Lomachenko, oh no, the moment Kambosos and Teo fought, and I looked at the rankings of who was number one, I knew Lomachenko was getting the fight next.
Yeah.
It made too much sense.
Yeah. That's why I don't even get my hopes up no more for fights. Like I don't think the Crawford and Earl fight getting it. So it's like whatever, you know. So it's like
Yeah,
we
I
never
don't I
get
don't
what
think
we want. So
I don't think Bud and Spence gonna happen this year. I think Spence, because Spence has also been talking about potentially fighting Jermell Charlo because Jermell Charlo allegedly offered him 50-50. And I'm like, hey, if that's how you feel, do that shit. But I think that the WBA situation, I don't know if they're gonna step aside again, especially because Stan Jonas is rep by Pro Bellum as well. So that's gonna be a difficult situation. I don't know what the WBO is gonna do with Bud. And because Virgil Ortiz Jr. is also the Mando for the WBC, which is Spence. And then, like you said, if Jerron Ennis this is actually a final title eliminator, and they fill those first two spots for the IBF, then yeah, he might have to deal with that shit. So we got to see. Yeah. But either way, if he fights Boots, if he fights Virgil, if he fights fucking Stan Jonas, unfortunately, then hey, it's whatever.
I wonder when he's gonna move. Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna move up. That's why the situation. I hope he looked like the old Earl from 2015 and 16 when he had the buzz and get a knockout or something. You know what I mean? That'd be a big statement. That'd be I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. That might be actually. I think Ugas would probably be his best win. Would you think so? That'd be his best win.
No, even if he knocks Ugas out in the first round, I'm not gonna say that's his best win. His best win.
So who better than Ugas that he beat?
I mean, Kell Brooks, Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, they're all better than.
You think Sean Porter is better than Ugas?
Yeah, I definitely do, especially because he beat him.
You thought he won too? Oh no, I had him losing.
Yeah, Ugas is with all due respect, Ugas is very sloppy. And the thing about it is that whenever someone puts pressure on him, he often smothers his work, or he'll overthrow his punches to the back of the head, or hit him low, which is what was happening with Sean, which is why he lost.
He do got some flaws, but one thing about him that he physically strong, you know what I mean, and he nice against southpaws. We going to see he physically strong, so it's going to be real interesting to see how this fight plays out. You know what I mean? And plus he coming off a big win against Pacquiao, so his confidence is probably like real high. You know what I'm saying?
That's cool, and I hope it is. I hope it is. To be honest, I don't think. I mean, Ugas is very crafty, coming from that Cuban school, but I don't think that this particular. I don't think that at this point in time in his career he offers enough tools, and especially offers enough power to be able to keep Errol Spence from doing what's necessary to get the W. So I hope it is a good situation. And it's funny because I was telling this to some people who are like who are on the Rabid Bud train. I was like, I hope you know that if Ugas manages to win this fight, if by the grace of God Ugas manages to get another career-changing W, he's gonna bring up money too. he's not gonna try to let Crawford get the majority of the pie either. So I hope that Bud and his stands realize that situation, that the same money talks that y'all are irritated about now, you think Ugas who just got his highest payday is going to come easy with the bread? No, he's gonna be a stickler. He's probably gonna be worse than Earl, to be honest. So shit, But like I said, I don't think that Ugas is gonna win.
I don't know if y'all seen the private chat, but I
see. Yo, Art,
I gotta get up out of here.
Yo, Art, man, thanks for having me on, bro. Keep doing your thing. D-Hive, nice kicking it with you, man. My man,
for sure.
What's his name? Julius,
yeah.
Chat, man. I appreciate
we gonna do this again. We're gonna do this again very shortly.
Y'all have a good one.
All right, bro.
Yeah.